This is a production of SDPB.
Touchdown! This is for a state championship. Oh, draw kick, and it's good!
There's going to be some highlights coming off of this.
The short-range jumper.
Edging out in lane for the top seed.
This South Dakota High School State Championship event is conducted under the direction of the South Dakota High School Activities Association.
And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Watertown. It's day 2 of the Class A Girls Basketball Tournament right here on SDPB3. Along with Nate Kading, I'm Steve Toom. Great to have you here as we've got consolation play in store for you to get things started today. 2 games coming your way here in the late morning and early afternoon. We start off with Sioux Valley taking on Lakota Tech. We follow that up with West Central taking on the Red Raiders of Wagner. These teams fell in the first round yesterday, and now they are playing for a chance to win the Consolation Championship, which will be tomorrow.
Yeah, no doubt, Steve. The first game on tap here, Lakota Tech and Sioux Valley. 2 higher scoring offenses that just really couldn't get it going yesterday. And you got to give a lot of credit to Hamlin and Lennox's defenses. But I know both groups today will look for a better offensive output.
And West Central and Wagner play in the second game. Again, 12:45, the rough start time for that game. It all depends on how this contest goes. Let's look at what happens tonight. We start at 5 Central, 4 Mountain Time. Hamlin against Lennox. Those teams know each other quite well. This will be the 3rd meeting of the year. And then the second semifinal ought to be a dandy. A rematch of the championship game from last year. The defending champion Chargers of Sioux Falls Christian take on Makpia Luta. That game last year decided on a buzzer beater, 1-point contest last year out in Spearfish. But let's start with what we've got coming up right now, and that is the consolation game. These teams did meet during the regular season back on January 30th. Sioux Valley won at home 66-63. The Cossacks, led by Jamie Granum, a veteran coach, and they are 21-3 on the season. They score 61 points a game. But, boy, their offense really stalled yesterday.
Yeah, uncharacteristic shooting performance from the Cossacks. They were 0 of 16 from 3, and we had talked about it going into that game of how that is such an important part of their offense. And I know visiting with Coach Granum a little bit this morning, you got to give a lot of credit, as I mentioned earlier, to Lennox, but he felt like they didn't have their A game, and they're going to look to be a little bit more focused in on providing a performance that's more indicative of how their season has went.
Yeah, 21 turnovers didn't help their cause. They shot 27% from the floor yesterday. Here's the starting lineup for the Cossacks. Talia Vincent, a senior. Liberty Tragstad, a junior. Amari Ward, a senior. Skylar Knutson, a junior. And Kaylee Craddock, the post player at 5'11", she's a junior. She's their top scorer at 15 points, also 8.5 rebounds a game. She's headed to the University of South Dakota to play basketball. Let's meet their opponents. The Lakota Tech Tatanka. Laura Big Crow is their head coach. They're 19-5 on the year. They score 68 points a game. They were ahead of Hamlin yesterday before falling 61-52, and 3-pointers, which is a big part of their game. They were 7 of 32, and they really cooled off in the second half.
Yeah, they're 2 big guns with Amelia Shangru and Lizzie Robinson. Although both of them were in double figures, both of them were held under their season averages substantially, and those are 2 of the most talented players that we have in our state. Younger athletes, with Shangru being an 8th grader and Lizzie Robinson only a sophomore.
Yeah, and Lizzie Robinson, remember, she was down on the court for a little while holding her left hip. We'll see if that affects her today. Lizzie Robinson, sister Kate Robinson, they are the forwards, a sophomore and a junior. Addison Goings is a guard. And the Shangru sisters, Amelia is an 8th grader. She'll be the point guard. And Isabella is that shooting guard small forward. She was held to only 2 points yesterday. She averages over 11 points per game. And she was in foul trouble quite a bit yesterday. But this is a high-scoring offense, and they will provide a lot of pressure on defense. Should be an interesting contest. We're just moments away from the introduction of the lineups and the national anthems. We'll turn it over to Ryan Neal, our public address announcer.
morning, ladies and gentlemen. The South Dakota High School Activities Association, along with its corporate partners, Stanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard welcome you to the third session of the State 8 Girls High School Basketball Tournament. This tournament is being conducted under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activities Association for the enjoyment and benefit of high school students. Good sportsmanship is essential for the success of these programs. We hope you will enjoy the games and support your athletes in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, will you please stand as we honor America? We are proud to present Tayton Killsmall from Lakota Tech High School. He will sing the Lakota Flag Song, which is a musical composition dedicated to honoring the American flag. Following the completion of the Lakota Flag Song, please remain standing for the national anthem. The national anthem will be sung by Gabby Gable from Gettysburg under the direction of Kirtina Smith. We would remind all in attendance that the proper respect is to face the flag, remove your hat or cap, and stand at attention with your right hand over your heart. Veterans and active duty military not in uniform may also salute the flag. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lakota Flag Song, followed by the national anthem.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And now, let's meet today's starting lineups in alternating fashion. At one guard for the Cossacks, 5'6" and a senior, number 10, Talia Vincent. At a guard for Lakota Tech, 5'5" and an 8th grader, number 2, Amelia Shengru. At a guard for the Cossacks, 5'6" and a junior, number 12, Liberty Truxton. At a guard for Lakota Tech, 5'7" and a senior, number 11, Addison Goey. At a guard for the Cossacks, 5'6" and a senior, number 21, Amari Ward. At forward for Lakota Tech, 5'8" and a junior, number 12, Kate Robinson. At center for the Cossacks, 6 foot and a junior, number 24, Skylar Knudsen. At forward for Lakota Tech, 5'9" and a sophomore, number 13, Lizzie Robinson. At guard for the Cossacks, 5'11" and a junior, number 32, Kaylee Kravitz. And at forward for the Lakota Tech, 5'7" and a sophomore, number 33, Isabel Shengru. Assistant coaches for Sioux Valley, Brooke Mathern, Leah Hope, and Carly Granham. Assistant coaches for Lakota Tech, Corey Shengru. Head coach of the Cossacks, Mr. Jamie Granham. And head coach for Lakota Tech, Laura Big Crow. Your officials for this contest, Justin Deutsch, Brian Gaikowski, and Donnie Kaiser.
All right, we're ready for day 2 of basketball. Lakota Tech wears the white uniforms today. Cossacks in the dark blue, navy uniforms with the white numbers and letters. Again, these teams met on January 30th. Sioux Valley won a close one, 66-63. That game was played at Sioux Valley. Today, we're on the neutral floor, and it's day 2 of the State A girls basketball tournament. We've got Lizzie Robinson and Craddock meeting in the center circle. 8 minutes on the clock, and here we go, and it will be Trigstad controlling the tip.
It's always interesting in these games to see the mentality early on of both groups.
Yeah, coming off a first day loss, it's can you get fired up for the next game? And Craddock had it blocked, puts it up short, and that is going to be Craddock getting the rebound, and then she's going to be fouled by Kate Robinson. And right away, Cossacks going inside.
Yeah, they ran a nice set there, ran Kaylee Craddock off a diagonal screen, and we talked a bunch about her yesterday. 5'10", 5'11", really versatile player. She can score from both inside and outside. She's a little shy on that first one.
It was actually Lizzie Robinson that collected that foul. Craddock on the year, 68% at the free throw line, 15 points, 8.5 rebounds per game. And missed them both. And that is going to be Lizzie Robinson, the sophomore, with the rebound. She'll bring it up court. 3 sets of sisters for Lakota Tech. Goings passes, Kate Robinson passes on the 3, the bounce pass to the corner. And here's Goings, who had a good game yesterday with 11 points.
Yeah, pretty good defensive possession here from the Cossacks, really making Lakota Tech work.
And that's Amelia Shangru, the 8th grader, missing on the mid-range J. And Ward brings it the other way, gets it back. Trigstad, here's Ward, a 3. And Sioux Valley 0 of 17 in the tournament now from three-point land.
And both teams, as you can see, Amelia Shangru a little off the mark. They both like to go in transition. I feel like I say that every game this tournament, Steve. We got a bunch of teams that like to play with pace and like to play fast.
And that will be a foul on Talia Vincent, who was held scoreless yesterday, the 5'6" senior. And Isabella Shangru at the line, 49% on the year for the sophomore. And that one in and out.
Yeah, and you mentioned yesterday, Steve, you know, she averages over 11 a game coming into this this tournament, and only was 1 of 6 from the floor and 2 overall points. So I'm sure she's going to be locked in, trying to provide a little bit more production for her squad.
Yeah, and she was in foul trouble a good chunk of that game yesterday, was Isabella Shangru. Ward, head of the lane, drives and throws it into the bench of Lakota Tech. Turnover, Cossacks. Here with 6.5 minutes left to go. Just underway, 1-0. Between two teams that did face each other during the regular season. And with that East-West matchup there, don't see necessarily in that regular season. And there's a nice reverse layup there by Goings.
And Goings was one that was super aggressive yesterday. Got up 11 shots, was in double figures with 11 points, and there she had a nice baseline reverse take.
Ward, a nice drive and finishes with the left hand. She was held to 3 points yesterday. That's under her average. Goings averages 5. She had 11 yesterday. Played a very good game. Shangru scoops it up and in, counted, and the foul. Oh my.
She had that little misdirection, cross jab, and we talked about her a bunch yesterday. She just, man, she's a crafty basketball player. You can tell that she's got a lot of years of experience, and she's only an 8th grader, but fun to watch. Plays with an uber confidence level, and there was kind of a circus finish as she's got an opportunity for the and one.
Skylar Knutson with the foul, her first, team second. And the free throw is good. A 59% free throw shooter on the year is Amelia Shangru, and it's 6-2. Tatanka on top. Here's a drive and a foul.
And we saw Lakota Tech play a variety. They're starting man-to-man just like they did yesterday, and then they had switched in their quarterfinal game to a lot of that 1-2-2 half-court trap where they were really aggressive, but they've begun this afternoon and just straight guard your person and got downhill there for the Cossacks.
Macy Top was the player fouled. She was their leading scorer yesterday at 10 points, the 5'7" sophomore coming off the bench. That one barely drew iron, and the rebound to Kate Robinson.
The Cossacks starting off only 1 of 4 from the foul line.
And a foul on the drive to the bucket by Isabella Shangru. Now, was it in the act of shooting? No. They'll play it in from out of bounds, and that's going to be on Talia Vincent, and quickly that's her second foul. Team's third. Could be a point of interest here as this game progresses. Robinson, that's Lizzie Robinson, spins, works on Trigstad, off the window, good.
You saw that, just nice length by Lizzie Robinson, good control, using the window to finish that.
The lost art of using the glass. 5:10 left to go here in the first quarter, and Trigstad got free, but too strong off the window. Nice thought, had the opening, but just a little too much mustard on that one. Here's Lizzie Robinson over to sister Kate. She's going to put it on the floor, and she gets bottled up along the baseline and has to make a pass, and it's intercepted by Ward.
It's good activity, nice pitch ahead, and this is where they really thrive. And
Craddock cleans it up, gets the rebound and the stick back.
It's a good crash on that weak side.
Lizzie Robinson fakes the three, drives down the lane, puts it off the window, fights for her rebound. Instead, it's Ward who pulls it away. Ahead to Top. Top on the move, lost the handle, picked up by Lizzie Robinson. She'll let the traffic pass her by and bring it up court.
And those were the situations that the Cossacks just didn't find themselves in too often, as Lizzie Robinson tries to go from deep and a little short. Didn't quite have the legs here on day 2.
Timeout on the court. 4:05 left, first quarter, 8-5. Lakota Tech on top. Back in a moment, right here on SDPB.
As much as you have accomplished, there are times you'd rather not go it alone. While you determine what direction you go, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with community. Go with neighbors. Go with understanding. Go with support.
Gonna look at some of the fans here. Some dressed up all Hawaiian outfits today. That's the Sioux Valley crowd here.
They didn't let us in on that, Steve. We could have matched that same energy.
We'll try our best here as Vincent brings it up court to Trigstad. Lakota Tech on top 8-5 as we come out of the break. Trigstad looking inside. Nobody open. Takes it herself. And she got bottled up and a foul on Lakota Tech.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to get Maisie Top off a little wide pin down screen there, and nothing was there, and there was a lot of room to attack there from Liberty Trigstad.
Kate Robinson with the foul, her first.
And Trigstad's one that she had a great overall season, continues to get better and better as Amari Ward. Only 1 of 8 all day yesterday, 0 of 3 from 3, gets one to go early.
That's the first three-pointer for Sioux Valley in this tournament. Shangru, the high arcing shot is an air ball, saved by Craddock. She'll bring it up court. Gives way to Top. Top on the move. Trigstad finds Craddock. She'll drive into the paint, kick it to the corner. Ward thought about it, drives. Vincent, nice quick pass. Trigstad a three, and that one will fall.
That's great ball movement there by the Cossacks. They spray it. Nice one more pass. Talia Vincent to Liberty Trigstad, and that's a little bit a better representation of how they can really shoot it. 2 of 4 from 3 while being 0 of 16 all day yesterday.
Pass into the paint taken away, and now there's a fight for the basketball. We're gonna have a foul in the backcourt on Lakota Tech. This one might be on Lizzie Robinson. If so, that is her second. And that'll be the 4th team foul. It is on Lizzie Robinson. She also is in foul trouble. A number of players for the Tatanka had to play with 3 and 4 fouls for a good chunk of that game yesterday. They generally don't go too deep on the bench, Lakota Tech. Maybe a couple players, and that's it. As Vincent fires, that one misses, and we're going to have a foul on Top, trying to get the rebound, but Lakota Tech had the good box out.
And Talia Vincent can really generally shoot the basketball at an incredibly high clip. She was 73 made threes coming in on 210 attempts, 34.8%, and she is just been kind of one of a game and a half here so far for Talia Vincent. We'll see if she can get some confidence, get some shots to fall.
Kate Robinson gets loose, misses on the three. Ward the rebound. Vincent, by the way, committed to Dakota State for basketball. And that pass over everybody's head out of bounds. Turnover, Cossacks.
It was a nice rotation there by Amelia Shangru, getting to that drift pass, and it was her activity flying down there that forced that pass to be a little bit high up and outside the reach of that offensive player's hands.
When you talk about the three-pointers, Sioux Valley as a team on the year 33%, Lakota Tech 23%. But Lakota Tech fires a lot of them. Down low, Shangru off the window too strong. And with the rebound there is Miley Keating, who just checked into the game. She had a good game yesterday off the bench. The sophomore had 6 points. And the ball's tapped loose. There's a pileup for it. And I think we're going to have a quick timeout called by Coach Granum. And they wanted to save the possession. 30-second timeout here.
And that was good ball pressure there by Kate Robinson. She was the one that got that initial deflection and mad scramble, and as you mentioned, wanted to keep that possession. So quick timeout.
You know, you can follow SDPB Sports on your mobile device all season long. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Be sure to browse all our action and award photos by searching SDPB on Flickr. Tell us where you're watching us from and read some of the great stories and enjoy the videos features the teams, the players, and the coaches here in South Dakota. Hashtag SDPB Sports. That's where you want to go. And a big hello to everyone out there watching online, and a special hello and thank you to all members of the military who may be stationed overseas watching us. I hope you're enjoying this nice little slice of home here. March means basketball in South Dakota.
Nothing better than that, Steve.
Oh,
the madness of March.
Yep, where else would you rather be than at a state basketball tournament? As the officials conferring at the scorers table about something. We've got 1:32 left here. Cossacks up 11-8. This is a 6-0 run here by Sioux Valley.
Yeah, and on the other side of things, Lakota Tech have been held scoreless for over 4 minutes after getting off to a nice start to begin the game. Yeah, and here they switch to that 1-2-2.
This worked well for them yesterday. High post, and it's tipped away and stolen. Robinson got a finger on it. Amelia Shangru on the move, finishes with the lefty layup.
It's a nice pickup over the top. Talia Vincent tried to undercut that bounce, and here's another turnover.
Oh, but they get it back into the hands of Avery Schmuck, who checked into the game, number 14 for Sioux Valley.
And we saw Shangru's activity. They always have her on the top of that zone and anticipates well.
Avery missed that one, and here comes Lakota Tech. Shangru ahead of everybody, but she got too far under the basket. Sister Isabella had it blocked, fighting for it, scoops it outside. And here's Lizzie Robinson, 3, no. Shangru with the rebound, and that's Isabella Shangru with the putback. Shot clock is off. Lakota Tech now up by 1. They got a nice little 4-0 run here. Craddock, bounce pass underneath, counted in the foul. That is Miley Keating.
That was a great vision right there by Kaylee Craddock. As you can see that replay, brought 2 defenders. Isabella Shangru just helped a little bit and got an opportunity for the old school 3-point play.
Isabella Shangru with the foul, her first, and Keating to the line. Again, 6 points off the bench. Top and Keating accounted for 16 of their 28 points yesterday. And that one's in and out. 17 seconds left. Plenty of time here for Lakota Tech to set up something. Oh, but a travel will turn it over. And with 11 seconds left, now Sioux Valley's got a lot of time to move it up court. Top checks out, and Vincent back in for the Cossacks.
Goings had Isabella Shangru, who the Cossacks actually didn't do a great job of getting matched up there. She just couldn't deliver that pass on time, on target.
Keating outside. Who's going to fire it? Trigstad is going to get called for traveling. With 0.4 seconds left, good defense by Lakota Tech. Couple of quick subs in here. Top and Schmuck in for Sioux Valley. And with 0.4 seconds, not a whole lot of time to do anything. They're going to throw it down court and over the head of everybody, and that they're going to say they got to play that in. There's no time ticked off the clock because that went out of bounds.
Yeah, and I think there was a little miscommunication on the clock operator, whether that was deflected or not as it was flying over, but I don't believe it was. I think that just sailed over their hands. So yeah, they're going to replay this with 0.4 back right in front of us here, Steve. We got a bird's eye view on this one.
Yep, they'll play it in right in front of our announcers table here, but again, 0.4 seconds. Not a whole lot of time as Coach Grantham sends in several substitutions here. 0.4 seconds, pretty much it's catch and shoot right away. Trigstad will throw it in. Looking, throws across court. Schmuck gets it off, no, and we're done with one. Good quarter here. It is Sioux Valley 13, Lakota Tech 12. Back in a moment right here on SDPB 3.
Bank West is rooted in South Dakota. Committed to local success. Just like you. We're all connected. In South Dakota. For South Dakota. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
Welcome back to Watertown in the Civic Arena, Day 2, Class A girls basketball here in SDPB 3. I'm Steve Toom, he's Nate Kading. We've got one quarter in the books, our first consolation game of the day. Sioux Valley up 13-12, and they're going to apply some pressure at half court. See how Lakota Tech handles it. They'll go to the corner. Dangerous pass. Craddock got a hand on it, but Amelia Shangru pulls it away. Keeps possession for Lakota Tech. Defense a little more aggressive now from Sioux Valley.
Yeah, and we saw them switch to this kind of a 2-1-2 zone a couple times now. There's a nice Amelia Shangru threaded that bounce pass to Kate Robinson, but recovered back and deflected that.
Yep, that was Craddock in on the action there along with Skylar Knudsen.
Only got 6 on the shot clock.
Kate Robinson putting it on the floor, and she is not going to get a shot up in time. Turnover Lakota Tech, unaware of the clock.
Yeah, and that was a nice defensive possession there by Sioux Valley and switch to the zone. But when you're in the zone, you oftentimes talk about you still got to have that same activity level and that same mentality, just like you were playing man-to-man.
Turnover. Ward tried to save it going out of bounds, but Shangru is there to pick it up. Amelia working on Craddock. Got a junior against an 8th grader there, and a big height differential. But that leaves Kate Robinson open, misses on the 3, and Craddock gets the rebound. She'll find Trigstad. Ward, nice fake, the drive. Vincent, 3, no. Long rebound. Goes to the Tatanka.
That's good basketball, though. That's what you like to see. Paint touch, throw that 45 pass, and they make that one more to Talia Vincent, and she's gonna eventually get one to drop. I love the confidence. Continue to shoot open looks and open shots.
14 on the shot clock. Kate Robinson, the extra pass. Here's the open shooter, missing on the 3, but Kate Robinson fouled by Craddock on the weak side. And for Craddock, that'll be her first.
Yeah, Lizzie Robinson crashing right there smartly. We'll call that a pass there, Steve, off the mark, and she was in at the right place at the right time as she heads to the free throw line.
Lizzie Robinson averages 8 rebounds per game and 19.5 points. And that free throw no good. And here comes Lydia Hermeni-Horses, I believe, into the game.
Yeah, you talked about it there. This Lakota Tech team, not Sioux Valley going much deeper into their bench here, having already played 8 athletes, and Lakota Tech not quite as deep. They run their starters a lot of minutes.
Missing both was Lizzie Robinson, a 64% free throw shooter. That doesn't happen too often, as Trigstad fumbled it for a moment. High post, Craddock. Trigstad, the open shooter, no. And rebounded Goings, and she was fouled by Vincent. And Talia Vincent, I think that is her 3rd foul. And it is. She'll have to go to the bench as Avery Schmuck, who got only just a few minutes yesterday, comes in. She is an 8th grader, wears number 14 for Sioux Valley. She'll be asked to play a lot of minutes here in quarter number 2.
Yeah, and I know they're really excited about Schmuck's future and ability. She had battled, was out for a couple weeks, kind of in the middle and the crux of their season. So she hasn't maybe impacted at the varsity level quite as much as even they thought early on, but she's going to be a talented young player.
Shot by Lizzie Robinson, no good. Craddock on the move, pass, top, bumped, throws it off the window. She'll get 2 free throws as Goings will pick up the foul. That will be her 1st.
You've already seen today many more transition opportunities for the Sioux Valley Cossacks team than they had all day yesterday. They couldn't get that going against Lennox. Everything was just kind of when they're rowing against the stream all game yesterday. But they're much more free-flowing, a much better picture of how they normally play here this afternoon.
Craddock pulls away the rebound, maneuvers underneath, throws it outside to Ward for a 3. Yes! Craddock is such a difference maker in the paint for Sioux Valley. And they have a 5-point lead. Shangru throws it up, rolls off the back of the rim. Craddock had it, lost it, and gets it back, lost it, and it's going to be tapped out of bounds, but off of a Lakota Tech player with 5:04 left here in quarter number 2. Sioux Valley will get it. Now Lakota Tech may be applying a little pressure in the backcourt.
Craddock already up to 7 rebounds, been all over the place on the glass here early on.
Trigstad missed it. And the rebound and a jump ball is called. Timeout on the court, 4:54 left, 2nd quarter. Sioux Valley up by 5. Back in a moment right here on SDPB3.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
Day 2 of the girls Class A basketball tournament right here on SDPB3. He's Nate Kading. I'm Steve Toom. We are in Watertown at the Civic Arena as Lakota Tech is playing Sioux Valley. And the Cossacks are up 17-12, and they'll play it from the baseline. Schmuck looking inside, throws it to the corner in Trigstad. Craddock posting up. Puts it on the floor, off the window, gets her own rebound, fought for it. And I think we're going to have a foul on Lakota Tech.
You see that length of Kaylee Craddock inside right there. Even though she wasn't able to convert on that initial opportunity, was able to corral that rebound and have another possession.
Lydia Horses with the foul, her first, team second. They throw it in the top. She'll back it out to the perimeter. High post, Craddock puts it on the floor, spins off the window, nicely done.
Ever since this Lakota Tech squad has switched to that zone, Sioux Valley's handled it very well. High post flashes, and the one thing that you love to see is Shangru lets one fly off the windows open again there for their first three.
Yeah, the bank is open on a Friday here in Watertown. Big bucket there, and Shangru almost got a steal. High post, Craddock goes to the corner, no shot there. Schmuck pulls up, got it. Avery Schmuck, her first points here in the tournament.
It's a nice mid-range pull-up, stayed on balance there.
Shangru open, another three, no. Rebound Ward.
Yeah, and the Tatanka only 1 of 9 from 3 to start this game.
Liberty Trigstad with the nice transition bucket, and the lead is 8 for Sioux Valley. Up top, Kate Robinson, sister Lizzie, into the paint. Her many horses with the nice finish off the window.
Yeah, that was a nice find there as Shangru just a little bit too aggressive there, trying to make a play on that basketball. That was good vision on that previous, and her mini horses with the nice catch and finish.
Top out, Keating in for Sioux Valley. Amelia Shangru's going to get a break, and coming in is Tyria Money. She wears number 3. Her visiting jersey is number 15, and the ball's loose on the floor.
Yeah, and Tyria only a 7th grader, I believe. So got some young athletes getting opportunities here for Lakota Tech.
Here comes Lizzie Robinson up the court.
And you've mentioned how Lizzie Robinson took a couple tough falls. To me, she almost seems like she's not quite moving as well as she was to start yesterday's game. As you can see her kind of favoring that leg and hip a little bit.
Yeah, she was down on the floor for a couple of minutes yesterday, and here's going to be a foul on Money, and that is her first. Yeah, the Lakota Tech team, only 2 seniors, but a lot of freshmen and sophomores on this team. As Trigstad's going to get a break. And here comes Talia Vincent back into the lineup. She's out there with 3 fouls with 2:43 here in the second quarter. She enters the game once again. And she'll take the inbounds pass.
Yeah, and Kaylee Craddock, they constantly have her at the high post there, and yeah, took one extra step. But the thing that she'd been doing with 4 or 5 previous catches, she makes quick decisions, and that's what you want to see when you're attacking a zone. When you get it in the high post or you get it in the short corner, you want to make quick decisions because the defense is going to react to it, probably going to suck into the basketball, and then things are really opening up for your teammates. A lot of the times you're not even necessarily the scoring threat, but even to getting the basketball in there can create a chain reaction.
Here's Money with the ball. Amelia Shangru back in the game. Her many horses went to the bench. That one a little too strong. And the rebound comes down to Trigstad on the move. Here's Keating with it. The lane was open, but it closes. 3 is blocked. And we're going to have a foul on Lakota Tech. Fighting for the loose ball. I think that might be Money with the foul. It is quickly her second.
And Lizzie Robinson really closed the gap there initially on Schmuck. She had some space, but couldn't get it off clean. But on the Corral, the rebound ended up being the loose ball foul.
So money will check out in favor of Goings. For Avery Schmuck, she is 2 of 2 now on the season on free throws. She only had 1 attempt all year long before that. Good form, and it's in. Here comes Amelia Shangrew the other way. Sioux Valley back up by 8. Under 2 minutes to go until halftime. Lost the handle, got it back, but here comes the double team. Goings is open, a 3, just a bit too strong. Craddock yet another rebound.
Yeah, and she's got great ability to just snatch the ball and go with it in transition.
And she hits the 3. Small wonder why USD was interested in this young lady, and she's got another year of high school ball left.
Yeah, and you knew that with the water as they go inside to Lizzie Robinson, but you figured that the water was going to probably find its level with the Sioux Valley team after not hitting a single 3 all day yesterday. Have already hit 4 in the first half today.
And Lizzie Robinson fell on that left hip, and she again hit the deck hard. Avery Schmuck got the foul, her first, and Lizzie Robinson shaken up yet again, as she has hit the deck several times in this tournament pretty hard. But she'll stay in and get these 2 free throw attempts. And she is now 0 of 3 at the line. Vincent in, Schmuck out for Sioux Valley.
Yeah, both teams right now shooting in the Sioux Valley only 2 of 6 from the foul line, and or excuse me, Lakota Tech 2 of 6, and Sioux Valley only 4 of 9.
That free throw went in. The lead is still 10 for the Cossacks. Craddock check that was Keating who lost the handle, taken away by Amelia Shangrew. Lizzie Robinson drives, and she was fouled on her approach to the bucket, and she hit the deck again.
It was a nice quick rip there by Lizzie Robinson right to the baseline, drives it right through that contact of Liberty Trigstad. I think they had the foul before she went up for the shot.
Yep, no free throws. Trigstad with the foul, her first, team's 4th. Kate Robinson with the inbounds, quickly to sister Lizzie.
Trying to free Shangrew off that elevator screen.
And the rebound comes down to Lakota Tech, and it's tapped away by Ward. Trigstad has to track it down 2-on-2. Trigstad 3, short of the mark, but the rebound to Craddock, and she puts it in. Another rebound for Craddock. And the lead is a dozen, and Shangrew tapped it out of bounds. She and Ward were fighting with it, and the game kind of getting away from Lakota Tech at the moment.
And the one thing when you shoot early 3s in transition, even if you don't make them, there's a lot of great offensive rebounding opportunities because the defense isn't set. They're not matched up on a person. They're not able to get as good a checkouts as you need. And we've seen it a couple times, Sioux Valley taking advantage of getting people on the glass in those opportunities.
Top back into the game, now down low to Craddock, working in the paint, spins, counted, and the foul. Or they're going to call offensive foul.
I know, I think they got her with the travel.
All right.
on that spin, and yeah, I'm not, well, you know, I don't know. You know, they talked a couple years ago, Steve, about really trying to cut down on spin moves and how people are doing it, and that one looked pretty good there, but a lot of the times it comes down to how early they gather the ball.
Air ball, Shangrew misses the stick back. Here's Lizzie Robinson. Amelia Shangrew at the buzzer, off the mark, and the rebound to top. And the first half ends, only 6 points in that period for Lakota Tech, but 17 in that period for Sioux Valley, and they've opened up a 30-18 edge here at the break. We're at halftime. We'll come back with more from Watertown in the Class A tournament in a moment. You're watching SDPB 3.
we aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
And welcome back to Watertown here in the Civic Arena. It is day 2 of the Class A girls basketball tournament here on SDPB. Along with Nate Kading, I'm Steve Toom. Our score at the break, Sioux Valley 30, Lakota Tech 18, as Sioux Valley outscored Lakota Tech 17-6 in that second period of play, and really the shots just dried up for Lakota Tech in that second quarter of play.
Yeah, and when the shots dried up, that really allowed Sioux Valley to get some good shots and opportunities in transition, as well as attacking that zone defense. They were moving the basketball, as you can see, Lizzie Robinson with a nice kiss off the glass. And then the other big aspect is Sioux Valley ended up getting some shots to fall from 3, as you're seeing right here. 4 of 13 in that first half. You got athletes. Kaylee Craddock almost already has a double-double, 9 points, 10 rebounds in just one half of basketball.
Yeah, she's been the difference maker. And look at that pass there. And that was Miley Keating who got the finish, but it was a great pass by Craddock that set it up. And when you talk about team assist, 9-5 advantage, Sioux Valley is there sharing the basketball quite well.
Yeah, and Amari Ward is another one stepping up, as you're seeing on the highlights, hitting 2 threes, up to 8 points. And really for Lakota Tech, Amelia Shangru has 8, but only on 3 of 11 from the floor. Lizzie Robinson only 1 of 8. The Tatanka only shooting 21% in that first half, and that was really in that second quarter. They were 0 of their last 9 and only 1 of their last 11.
Take a look at some of the team stats here. Lakota Tech just shooting 22% from the floor in that first half, 7 of 32. Ironically, that was their 3-point attempts yesterday, but only 1 of 14 from beyond the arc. And the difference, Sioux Valley much more effective. They are shooting at 42% and 4 of 13 from beyond the arc. And also Sioux Valley +5 in the rebound department. Now Sioux Valley has committed 4 more turnovers, and that's working in Lakota Tech's favor, but it is Kaylee Craddock. She is that post presence that is really making a difference. She's such a matchup problem because she's very nimble in the paint, good footwork, although she was called for that one travel late, but she's so quick as well moving up the court.
Yeah, just her versatility really shined through in that first half right there, and she's been a key piece of their zone attack as well, because she's the one making those decisions at the high post. And she's got great length. She's just a basketball player that does does everything pretty good. She might not have one exact superpower that she just does tremendously through the roof when you're talking about high-level basketball, but she's just so well-rounded and has such a great feel for the game that she ends up helping her team and creating opportunities for her teammates so well.
Yeah, she has good court vision as well, and her quickness is very impressive because she's a quick jumper. And sometimes in basketball, it's not how high you can jump, it's how quick you can get up. And again, she's just a great all-around player. Plus, she has good speed up and down the court as well.
And she's really, frankly, worked at that, because 2 years ago, you probably wouldn't be saying that about her, Steve, but I know how much time she pours into even the strength and conditioning side of it. And so she's really improved those parts of her game. She's always been able to have a pretty good skill level, be able to shoot it, be able to score inside, but she's getting better lift, a little bit more physical, moving up and down, up the court. And you really just have seen the dividends that she's poured into her physical part of the game, be able to see that while she's playing.
Amelia Shangru leading Lakota Tech with 8 points for the Tatanka. We'll take a break, come back with the third quarter. This is Class A girls basketball. You're watching SDPB 3.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Our Peterson Farm seed reps, real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm seed reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
For your little ones and your biggest joys, or your forever friends and your fur kids too, for your better half or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small, just as it should be. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of choices to make sure you have the perfect coverage to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance.
Getting ready for the third quarter. Sioux Valley pulling away in that second quarter, outscoring Lakota Tech 17-6. They've opened up the 30-18 edge as we're getting ready for quarter number 3. And while I got a moment, I'd like to remind you that SDPB's coverage of high school sports and activities is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you. A contribution today helps support the broadcast of events such as the state basketball tournaments. Make a donation today by visiting sdpb.org/donate. All right, what's Lakota Tech, Nate, got to do to get back into this contest here as we start this third quarter?
Yeah, I think one of the focuses needs to be just overall shot selection a little bit and work in it. It's always a fine line. They play such a fun style and an up and down style, and people play super confidently, which is a credit. As a coaching staff, oftentimes you're trying to instill that in your players. When things aren't necessarily falling early, though, you really want to try to put some more pressure on the rim, really make a defense work side to side. And sometimes when you shoot early, you kind of bail the defense out. So I'd like to see them get, a ball reversal or two, try to put a little bit more pressure on the paint and try to create something a little easier for themselves. And then oftentimes when you do that, the shots start falling even a little bit more efficiently from three as well.
All right, Lakota Tech breaks the huddle. They'll send their starting 5 back out onto the court. They have 2 starters with 2 fouls, Lizzie Robinson and Amelia Shangru. Meanwhile, Talia Vincent has 3 fouls, played a little bit there in that second quarter of play. She is the only Cossack in foul trouble. Coming after this one, up after this one will be West Central and Wagner. That is our second consolation game, as it is high noon here in Watertown. It will be Sioux Valley starting period number 3 with the basketball. Trigstad gets it into Vincent. We are underway with the second half.
Looks like Lakota Tech just going back into that 1-2-2.
Craddock steps outside to take a pass. Swing it over to Trigstad. Craddock now in the left corner. She'll flash into the paint, and it's tipped away by Shangru. Can she save it? Yes, does so to Goings.
You already saw just a better ability of communicating and making sure that they're matching up with bodies in that zone defense.
And once again, Lizzie Robinson hits the deck. Kaylee Craddock, her second personal foul. I'm going to say she was in the act of shooting, so Lizzie Robinson back of the line, 1 of 4 today. And misses that one. Again, she's a 64% shooter, but she has hit the deck hard several times throughout this tournament.
Yeah, and there she gets a clean one to go.
It'll be Craddock bringing the ball up the floor, and Shangru got a hand on it. Here's a 2-on-1, and Shangru will finish and give her 10 points.
Creating 2 early turnovers. You got to like this. Much better energy, much better activity than what we saw, especially in that second quarter.
Yeah, when they were held at just 6 points. Craddock steps up high and puts it off the window, no good. Good box out by Goings, who gets the rebound. Lizzie Robinson with a head of steam, no good as she hit the deck yet again. Amelia Shangru on the drive, throws it up, no, but she'll get some free throws.
Yeah, you love those aggressive attacks. And the one thing with Lizzie Robinson is you see Shangru off it. There's a lot of times right now that she's trying to finish off 1 foot in the paint, and when you get a bunch of contact like that, you're just not going to have as good a balance or body control when you're going up. You like to talk about trying to finish those off 2 feet as much as you possibly can, just because you're a lot stronger, able to withstand more physical contact.
That foul, by the way, was on Amari Ward, her first, team second, and the Tatanka picking up the pressure a little bit, a little more aggressive defensively.
Yeah, nice 5-0 run here to start this second half.
Craddock was alone. Nice fake and puts it up and in. She's got 11.
See that footwork inside. We talked a lot about it in the first half.
Knutson almost got a steal there as Lizzie Robinson puts her head down, throws it off the window, and she'll get some free throws again.
Yeah, and when she gets a head of steam downhill, she's got good size to her and good ball skills to her. 5'9", sturdy frame. Ends up getting to the foul line quite a bit. Had shot 118 free throws coming into this tournament.
Made that one, that foul, Liberty Trigstad, her second personal, team's third. Missed that one, and Ward collects the rebound. Oh, and Shangru made something happen, and oh, but it just hit the out of bounds mark as she was trying to collect it.
Yeah, it looked like she actually had it initially and then kind of slipped out of her grasp. I think they're talking about whether the shot clock should reset off that.
Official will head over to the scores table and the shot clock. Will it stay at 35 or will it be adjusted?
I think they're still trying to figure that out. They were trying to see whether they had possession or not on the calling the officials over the scorers table right now.
We got 6:02 left here in the third quarter. Sioux Valley up by 8. Momentum seems to be on the side of Lakota Tech, as they have started off pretty good here in this third quarter.
The players are having a nice little huddle with Shangru, Trigstad. They're getting a kick out of something right there.
All righty, 26 on the shot clock, and we are back to action as Vincent gets the inbounds pass. That defense extending for Lakota Tech. Oh, and there's a tap ball. Oh, and Lakota Tech almost had a steal, but it hit the out-of-bounds line.
Yeah, only 13 on the shot clock to now operate for the Cossacks. Yeah, the zone attack, they're not getting as many easy opportunities as they had in that second quarter.
Vincent couldn't fire the three. Almost a travel, and then Shangru gets a steal. Here's a 3-on-1 as Lizzie Robinson finishes with the left hand.
Great quick hands there by Amelia Shangru, and nice vision up to Lizzie Robinson.
Vincent, a three short of the mark, and it's tipped to Ward. Throws it off the window and in. And we got a timeout here called by Sioux Valley. It's a full timeout called by Sioux Valley here with 5:19 left to go, as they want to talk things over here as Sioux Valley has changed things up defensively. 34-26 is our score. Sioux Valley on top.
Yeah, and I don't think Coach Granum probably didn't love that. You know, when you build a little bit of a lead, sometimes you can have some complacency step in a little bit, and you see a little renewed. I'm sure Coach Big Crow had a bit of I've been in a lot of those halftime conversations when you maybe don't feel like you're playing up to your capabilities, but they've done a nice job of stepping things up.
You know, we like to welcome everyone to join us for Tales from the Hardwood. We'll meet a young gal who's juggling college and coaching, a prolific standout from South Central South Dakota, a girls basketball player who is following two passions within the game, and a young man who has gained strength through a key battle in his life. Tales from the Hardwood is available to watch today on our YouTube channel or online, sdpb.org/basketball. All right, it'll be Lakota Tech ball.
Yeah, and that was an important board and finish there to try to get the Cossacks a little bit more settled down, as Lakota Tech was really making a run at them.
And that pass a bit too tall, and Ward ends up with it. Vincent fires three, yes. Her first points.
Yeah, and Talia Vincent finally gets one to drop. Her first points of the tournament right there. Average double figures coming in.
And a steal by Sioux Valley. They got a chance to really open this one up. Craddock gonna drive, gets to the baseline, shut off there. And we're gonna have a full timeout called by Sioux Valley. We'll step away for a moment. This is SDPB 3.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech, is the start of something new.
And welcome back to Watertown. 37-26. Sioux Valley has opened up an 11-point lead on Lakota Tech. After the turnover by Sioux Valley, it'll be Tatanka basketball. See what they can do here in the final part of this period to cut into that lead.
You can see Lakota Tech going into that top weave action.
Too strong off the window, but more free throws coming up for Lakota Tech.
Yeah, have gotten to the foul line. This will be their 14th and 15th attempt. Sioux Valley only 4 of 9 on the game, and you really like to see they've had a little bit more of a mentality in this second half that they're going to get downhill. They're going to drive that thing through contact. They're not settling for. They're only currently 1 of 14 from 3. So they're getting a lot more action to the rim, and that's what you like to see if you're a Lakota Tech fan.
And foul, by the way, on Amari Ward, her second, team's 4th. And here comes the free throw, and it's no good again. But Lakota Tech comes away with it. Pass tip, Goings will track it down. Three-pointer, it's going to be off the mark. Craddock another rebound. She's looking to run. Gives it up to Avery Schmuck. Picks up her dribble. And Cossacks will run their offense.
Yeah, pass fakes and ball fakes are important anytime you're playing against the zone. And Trigstad
got her own rebound. Schmuck thought about the 3, but just wasn't open enough. Now she'll fire away, in and out. Craddock had it, lost it. Got it back, Vincent, in and out. And a rebounding foul on Sioux Valley. We'll march down to the other end for some free throws with 3:41 left.
And you see the ability to get on that offensive glass, and you talk a lot about that. Anytime a team is playing in zone, it's harder responsibilities to try to find bodies, and you want to make sure you crush the glass in those situations.
Trigstad with the foul, her 3rd. And chance here for Lakota Tech to cut into that lead, but they're missing free throws. Kate Robinson yet to score today. They've got a double bonus here for the final 3:41 of this period. But that one went in.
Yeah, and anytime Sioux Valley, they really try to race it up the floor with a little free throw break.
We're going to have a foul on Lakota Tech. And that is their first. That is the 3rd on Amelia Shangru. And it will be Macy Top to trigger. Vincent with the ball. Here's a 3 on the way. Good, Avery Schmuck.
And you're really seeing that skill level from Avery Schmuck, stepping into the state tournament like she's a wily veteran out here as the 8th grader.
Kate Robinson driving, can't get the shot up, tries the up and under, and it rolls off the rim. Goings gets it, her first points of the day. Check that, her 4th point of the day.
Yeah, nice soft touch there by Goings.
And Lakota Tech really needed that one. Craddock had it tripped away from her, but a foul. Ooh, if that's on Shangru, that is her 4th. Yeah, it is, so she's running to the bench. Amelia Shangru here collects foul number 4, and that brings Tyria Money, the 7th grader, off the bench. Only the 2nd team foul.
Yeah, and Shangru tried pinching down on that high post.
Craddock off the window, yes.
It was nice execution there. They split the offense and got that zone to separate, and Kaylee Craddock just cut right to that block area.
Critical time here for Lakota Tech. They need some buckets. Robinson threw it up, and she was fouled.
had a pretty advantageous matchup right there, because Kate Robinson, she's going to be down in those block areas, those short corner areas quite a bit, and had Avery Schmuck trying to check her in there and just kind of powered right through her.
2 free throws coming up, and that one is good. Kate Robinson on the air, 64%. 2 of 3 today. Make it 3 of 4. The lead's still 11 for Sioux Valley. Dakota Tech needs some stops here. You don't want to go down into the 4th quarter down by double digits.
Yeah, and it's kind of been a little back and forth as Talia Vincent was off the mark, and another offensive rebound. And that'll be their 11th one of the game. Both teams right now in double figures for O boards. Dakota Tech at 11, Sioux Valley at 11.
And we're going to have a foul along the baseline against Sioux Valley as Lizzie Robinson trying to make something happen. And I think they got Trigstad. Nope, that's Craddock. She just got her 3rd. Craddock with 15 points in the game, 13 rebounds.
Yeah, and you talked about it, Lakota Tech in the bonus already, and be their 20th free throw attempt of the game. And we're still only in the 3rd quarter.
Minute 58 left. And that one bounces away, and Craddock another rebound. To the corner, Craddock is there. The lead a dozen for the Cossacks. High post.
You can see the Cossacks really try to make those quick 0.5 decisions against this zone. No one's catching the ball and holding it.
And that's Amelia Shangru. Tried to get the steal, tapped it out of bounds. 9 on the shot clock.
Yeah, and Lakota Tech stays in when it's underneath out of bounds, more of a 2-3 alignment.
Pass it into the paint, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul on Lakota Tech. And that's going to be on one of the Robinson sisters. I couldn't tell if it was 12 or 13. It is going to be Lizzie Robinson, her 3rd. And here's Lizzie Robinson with the steal. We got a 2-on-1. And Lizzie Robinson throws it up and in.
That was a nice 2-foot finish. Drove it baseline, spun right off. Good balance. And on the other side, perimeter bounce passes are tough, as we see Avery Schmuck.
Oh, but there's Top with the rebound. Oh, to hit the bottom of the backboard as Lizzie Robinson hits the deck yet again. Fighting for the rebound. The possession arrow favors Lakota Tech with 1:05 left. And here comes Goings into the game, and Money will head to the bench. And Amelia Shangru is back out there with those 4 fouls, playing the point guard position. A 1:05 and counting left. Ward will pick her up at half court.
Yeah, big situation here for Lakota Tech. They're going to have an offensive possession, likely a D, and another offensive one.
That one rolls off the rim, and Ward collects the backside rebound. Top ahead, Craddock sets 3 short. Rebound fought for, and we're going to have a whistle. Jump ball, possession arrows, Sioux Valley. Here comes Lydia Hermany-Horses in, and that'll be Kate Robinson getting a break. Trigstad in, Schmuck out for Sioux Valley. And it'll be Top to Trigger.
Yeah, they tried to run that exact same thing. It worked for Craddock to get an open bucket previously, but Lakota Tech did a nice job of marking the offensive players.
Trigstad open 3, no good. Isabella Shangru with the rebound. Lobs it ahead. Lizzie Robinson almost lost the handle, but collects it. Shot clock is off. Lizzie Robinson, 3, yes!
In just their second made 3 of the game. 2 of 16 right now, but a big one right there for Lakota Tech.
And we're gonna have a foul on Lakota Tech. Not in the act of shooting, so no free throws coming up. See who catches that foul. I believe it might be Hermione Horses. It is. That's number 2 on her.
That's 6.5 on the game clock.
Trying to find Craddock inside. Vincent, open, 3, yes.
That was a nice shot fake. Slide step, Talia Vincent. Feeling a little bit better from 3 today.
It's 47-37. Sioux Valley on top. Back with the final quarter in a moment right here on SDPB 3.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station at Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
Getting ready for the fourth quarter. It's Sioux Valley up by 10 over Lakota Tech. Along with Nate Kading, I'm Steve Toom. Lakota Tech starts the period with the basketball. Lizzie Robinson misses the 3, and another rebound for Craddock. She has 15 on the afternoon.
Pretty high-powered third quarter right there, both ways.
3 no good. That's Trigstad. Couldn't get it after she collected the rebound, and we got a jump ball, possession arrow, Sioux Valley.
Yeah, and after Lakota Tech came out with a renewed level and a resurgence of what the second quarter was like, and the one thing that you like of your coach Granum and Sioux Valley is they responded. Each time that Lakota Tech was throwing a punch, Sioux Valley punched back.
Craddock is going to be fouled, and 2 free throws coming up. See, that foul is going to be on. Lizzie Robinson just got number 4.
Yeah, both Amelia Shangru and Lizzie Robinson, both in a little bit of foul trouble. Robinson with 4 and Shangru with 3.
Actually, Shangru has 4.
Oh, yeah, that's my mistake. I know. Yeah, I think the live stats that I'm looking at might not be updated.
All righty, both free throws went in. The lead a dozen. This is Amelia Shangru. Here's Lizzie Robinson. Missed the 3. Top with the rebound. Throws it ahead. Trigstad on the move. Oh, double dribble. Turnover, Sioux Valley, unforced error. Kate Robinson back in. Lydia Hermione Horses to the bench for Lakota Tech. The lead's a dozen.
I think Liberty Trigstad was trying to move that basketball to multiple people at once and just had that other hand come down on it.
Skip pass into the stands, out of bounds. Turnover, Lakota Tech.
Yeah, and after having a pretty, you know, Lakota Tech has had a pretty clean game from the value in the basketball perspective. That's only their 11th turnover of the game.
Yeah, compared to 19 for Sioux Valley. Top bottled up. Craddock outside. Ward 3, no. Rebound. Kate Robinson gives way to sister Lizzie. Up ahead, Shangru is open. The three is going to be short of the mark. Craddock collects yet another rebound. Outlet, Vincent. Up ahead, Top through traffic, throws it up, no good. Rebound fought for, and there's going to be a foul on Sioux Valley.
Yeah, and Sioux Valley had a great numbers advantage right there, and Top was trying to split those two defenders, just couldn't capitalize on the finish.
Macy Top with the foul, her second, team's first.
Now we're seeing Sioux Valley's own version of an extended out, little 2-3.
Isabella Shangru misses on the three, and Ward glides into the lane for the rebound. Vincent, a three, yes. 9 points all in the second half.
And you see her shooting ability coming into the tournament, just under 35%, and there's the answer.
Lizzie Robinson collects. Full timeout called by Lakota Tech. We'll step away for a moment. This is SDPB 3.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
Since 1882, we've raised 5 generations of hardworking Americans on this land. Our great-great-grandfather believed in something simple: respect the land and it will provide. Anthem Oats, grown by us, shared with you.
And welcome back to Watertown here in the fourth quarter. Sioux Valley up 52-40 on Lakota Tech. I'm Steve Toom, he's Nate Kading. And the Tonka made the three, called the timeout, and let's see what they're going to do defensively coming out of this timeout.
Yeah, it looks to be extending a little bit further. Sometimes Shangru will just only pick them up at half, and here might just be playing man-to-man, which we haven't actually seen for a little while. It appears that way. Yep.
They switch up defensively here. Thing with Sioux Valley is that they effectively have 2 point guards with Vincent and Trigstad out on the court. And here's another three that's short. But there's Ward flying through traffic to get the rebound. Top in the corner, throws it. Ward bails her out and scores.
Yeah, Macy Top, pretty fortunate there in a heady play by Amari Ward. She just kind of threw that to space, and Ward showed that speed and said, hey, I'll take this, and lay it right in.
Shot no good. 2 free throws coming up on the foul. And Lizzie Robinson back to the line.
Yeah, and it's becoming a point right now. You've got a 14-point deficit that these free throws, only shooting 52% on the game, become even more important.
Foul is on Ward, her third. And Lizzie Robinson now with 19 points. Lakota Tech outscored Sioux Valley 19-17 in that third period. And got them both. And she is now, by my count, at 20 points.
You can see him just sticking man-to-man here.
Actually 18 points now for Izzy Robinson. Pass tipped away, stolen by Isabella Shangru. Outlet. Here's Lizzie Robinson against Craddock, scoops it up. Nice thought, but it was just a little short of the mark. Top.
Yeah, and that was a great previous defensive possession as Sioux Valley has numbers.
They'll fire the three, it won't fall, but Ward throws it out. Vincent, three, yes.
In the
come alive.
The rebounding battle here. That's Sioux Valley's 17th offensive rebound, 47 total as compared to Lakota Tech as Shangru answers.
The lead's still a dozen as the press is broken by Sioux Valley. And Sioux Valley, they are still attacking. Oh, that Ward lost the ball, but that went off of a foot of a Lakota Tech player. Timeout on the court, 3:49 left to go. Sioux Valley up by a dozen. Back in a moment right here on SDPB3.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride. The values driving farmers also power South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
It's not just about making a living. It's about upholding a way of life. We are connected to this land, committed to the future. Bank West.
.349 left to go here in the fourth quarter. And it is Sioux Valley on top by a dozen, 57-45. I'm Steve Toom, he's Nate Kading. Sioux Valley laying the ball in from out of bounds. 15 on the shot clock. Lizzie Robinson going for the steal, can't pull it away from Keating. 8 on the shot clock. Ward, open three, no. And the rebound to Lakota Tech. Lizzie Robinson, nice pass. Shangru with the great finish. She's got 7.
It's a nice quick decision, good vision there by Lizzie Robinson, creating the easy one.
Ward is fouled, hits the deck. Will get 2 free throws.
In Amari Ward, an efficient 12 points on 5 of 8. This will be her first free throw attempt of the game, but she also has 11 rebounds, 5 assists, has played a pretty complete floor game all around.
Makes the free throw, give her 13 points. She was held to 3 points, 4 rebounds yesterday.
Yeah, they've had some of those key contributors that kind of struggled yesterday. Talia Vincent up to 12 points on all of her 4 3-pointers. Kaylee Craddock 17 and Amari Ward now 14.
Yeah, so that's a great day. Vincent with 12 points. We've got a foul on the other end and 2 free throws coming up.
Yeah, and if you're Sioux Valley, that's the one thing that you don't want to see. You want to be able to force this Lakota Tech team to burn a little clock and make some passes side to side, but they've been able to have some scoring options here within a couple seconds in a number of different possessions here recently.
Free throw no good by Robinson. Izzy Robinson with 18 points and still at 18. And we're going to have,
I think Maisie Top stepped in early there on that free throw. So Lizzie Robinson's going to get another chance at it.
Something like that drives coaches crazy.
Yeah, yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
And she missed that one, missed 3 in a row, but Kate Robinson with the rebound. Izzy drives, throws it up off the window, and another rebound for Ward. Outlet Vincent, doesn't have the numbers. Let's see if Sioux Valley burns some clock here. Isabella Shangru really being aggressive there. And remember, she's out there with 4 fouls.
She just got such quick hands defensively. Got a good feel for even doing a little bit unorthodox things where it's back taps and reaching around.
Trigstad a three, off the mark, high rebound collected by Sioux Valley. Vincent fires, no. Craddock had it, lost it. Loose on the floor, and who's gonna pick it up? Lakota Tech and Kate Robinson, and she's gonna be bumped from behind by Macy Top. That's not the kind of foul you wanna commit if you're Sioux Valley. Doesn't result in free throws, but that is the 4th team foul.
The second chance points, Sioux Valley has 22 of them. In comparison, Lakota Tech only 4. If you were to look at this game and evaluate, not only having Lakota Tech has had some offensive rebounds, but they haven't been able to make the Cossacks pay as much as it's been the other side.
Robinson on the drive, was bumped, throws it up, no good. Rebound, Schmuck, outlet Trigstad. And she's gonna take it all the way, throw it up, no good. Rebound, Isabella Shangru, coming up on the 2-minute mark. Izzy Robinson with the drive and scores. Now she's got 20 points. Open three, no good. Rebound, Vincent. Shangru taps it out to midcourt, the middle of the court, and it's collected by Sioux Valley, and they're just going to back it out.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of time, and yeah, Coach Granum wants to get them settled down. Not a whole lot of time that this Sioux Valley team is going to pass up any halfway open three-point looks, but one of them is when you got a 10-point lead with 1:36 left.
Yep, 14 fouls on Sioux Valley, just 2 on Lakota Tech. Don't forget, our coverage continues next week with live coverage of the boys state basketball tournaments. That begins on Thursday, March the 19th. Class AA, that will be on SDPB 1, that's out in Rapid City. Class B, that's on SDPB 2, that's in Aberdeen. And Class A will be on SDPB 3, that also will be in Rapid City. You can also watch every game online at sdpb.org/basketball.
Be a pretty fun environment having the two both out west, and we all know how special the Class B oftentimes is in Walks Arena.
Yep, great atmosphere. We expect it in Aberdeen and in Rapid City next week, but we got business to take care of here in Watertown here at the Class A. 10-point lead. Not over yet with 96 seconds left. See if Sioux Valley can play keep away here for the rest of the shot clock. That's what they appear that they want to do. Trigstad near half court.
Yeah, you want to stay out of those trapping areas as much as you can, and Sioux Valley doing a nice job keeping that ball in the middle of the floor.
Now they go to the corner. 4 seconds left. Craddock down low, scores. Perfect possession for Sioux Valley.
You couldn't have drawn it up better. Eat the whole shot clock and end up with a Kaylee Craddock layup for her 19th point of the game.
And we're going to have a foul on Sioux Valley with under a minute to go. And that is going to be on Craddock, and that is her 4th. But the lead is a dozen with under a minute to go. Lizzie Robinson back to the line. She's been busy there today. And the first of 2 is good. Lakota Tech, 14 of 26 at the line as a team.
Yeah, you need to extend out right away, as you're seeing.
Trigstad up ahead across the timeline. Vincent playing keep away to Craddock. Now Trigstad on the pass from Ward. Dangerous pass there. Top is going to be fouled near half court, and Lizzie Robinson banged her knee, it looks like. And Lizzie Robinson is just fouled out of the game. She'll end her day with 22 points.
Yeah, and she got herself going a little bit, and sometimes when you look at those things, and you'd like it as a coach to be she's going to feel like she left some on the free throw line, only going 8 of 16 from the foul line and 6 of 23 from the floor. But they need her. She needs to be aggressive, and she's one of their key cogs.
And Craddock yet another rebound. Shot clock is off and the lead is 10 points. Top bounce pass Vincent, and I think we're going to have a quick timeout called by Sioux Valley just to organize things here to wind up the clock, as they are going to advance for the second year in a row to the championship game unless we have a miracle in this final 23 seconds. They were 5th place last year. They were the consolation champions, and it appears they are going to have another opportunity, this time again.
And I'm sure their team, it's obviously a proud program that's been here, and they have some talented older players in Amari Ward and Talia Vincent, but then they got a crew that's going to continue to build and be back. And as I mentioned to start off this game, I know that they didn't feel like they maybe put their best shot out there yesterday, and we've seen a little bit more of kind of how they play, and 9 of 34 from 3 today after not hitting a single one yesterday, and just the pace that they've done, and be able to put up 61 after only having 28 yesterday.
Yep, the Cossacks a much better effort today, as the 3-pointers were falling for him today. That was not the case yesterday, and they'll play it in the backcourt, get it ahead. Trigstad, she will run into the front court. Again, shot clock is off, and Sioux Valley, they do not have to put up a shot. They can just play keep away, and that's what it appears they're going to do. As Ward handles here, under 10 seconds to go. And the pass is tipped away. One last chance for Lakota Tech. Shangru will score. That gives her 15 points. And it's going to be 61-53. Sioux Valley with the win. We'll take a break. Come back with more in a moment right here in SDPB3.
I can't imagine being anything other than a nurse. I'm also much more than a nurse. And working at Avera lets me find balance between the career that called me and a life that fulfills me.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
(61-53) the final score. Sioux Valley scores the win over Lakota Tech. These teams pretty even in the second half, but Lakota Tech could not overcome that big deficit they had in the second quarter when they got outscored 17-6.
Yeah, you look at the other scoring outputs, and the game was fairly even back and forth, and it was really that second quarter where they probably settled for a few too many tough threes and just weren't as engaged and locked in defensively. But they battled, and then you got to give Sioux Valley a lot of credit, because every time Lakota Tech made that run, I think they cut it to 7 the one time, and they had good responses every single time.
Yep, but Sioux Valley just dominated on the glass. They gave themselves some opportunities. Lizzie Robinson doing all she can. She ended up with 22, but Talia Vincent was the difference maker in the second half. 12 points, 4 3-pointers. As you look at 9 of 34 from three-point land, that was the difference for day for Sioux Valley, and plus 19 in the rebounding department, and that's why Sioux Valley chalks up the victory. They're on to the 5th place game. We'll take a timeout, come back with more Class A basketball on SDPB3.
You live life on the move. While you determine what direction that may be, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with values. Go with friends. Go with support. Go with convenience.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. To ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
At Muth Electric, we don't just power projects, we empower people. We invest in training, mentorship, and career development opportunities at every level. Because strong careers build strong communities. Your future is bright with Muth Electric. Muth Electric now hiring.
You know, the Kopel name needs little introduction amongst basketball fans here in South Dakota. Ashlyn Kopel, who's now a senior for Wagner, is continuing to add to her family's legacy. Earlier this season, SDPB took a trip to Wagner to spend a day with one of the best basketball players in the state.
The town of Wagner is located in southeast South Dakota, east of Lake Andes, west of Avon, and south of Armour. It's a nice town that is home to one of the most heavily recruited athletes we've seen in the state, Ashlyn Kopel.
It's always been one of my passions and something I've been wanting to be really good at. It's always been like a really big part of my life. My parents are both coaches, so I've kind of grown up in the gym, running the family with basketball, so yeah, it's all really special.
Ashlyn's aunt Mandy Kopel had a standout career in both high school at Wagner and collegiately at the University of South Dakota. But for Ashlyn, she's dedicated to creating her own unique legacy.
She's kind of always just pushed me. After I beat her scoring record, she sent me a text just like saying how proud of me she was, and yeah, she's just been like a really important person in my life growing up, so it's all been super cool to just kind of follow in her footsteps. I try to get here every morning, wake up at 6 and come shoot. And then, yeah, I'm usually here until like 8. And I try to do that every morning. I mean, there's days where I sleep in or like we get home late so I don't come in. But yeah, I've put a lot of hours into this game, so it's just nice to see that it's all paid off. From November to March is kind of just all basketball. I mean, I wake up, go to the gym, and then I'll be in school and I'll be watching film if I don't have anything to do. practice after school, usually watching like college games.
Ashlyn quickly rose to being one of the most sought-after young basketball players in the nation.
I think the recruiting process alone was like one of the hardest things I've been through, which sounds bad to say because there's a lot of people that like want to be in my situation. There's a lot to deal with at first. I mean, I was super excited, like loved the phone calls, loved texting the coaches, and just like soaking it all in. And then it started to get like more and more busy, and I felt like I was like constantly on the phone with people, dreading calls, like dreading going to visit schools. And it kind of just like consumed all my time, and I felt like I was like not enjoying my high school experience and just like being a kid. So I decided to just narrow it down, and that like really let the pressure off me, and things got a lot better then.
Once the list was narrowed, she made the decision to commit to the Cornhuskers.
I just really like their coaching staff, the way they play, just like the campus. It's only 4 hours from here, so like when I want to come home, I'll be able to come home. My family will be able to make it to games. So, I mean, it was really a no-brainer to go to Nebraska.
Ashlyn's dad, Mike, is her high school head coach.
Yeah, that's an experience that I don't think is very common, so I try to soak it in. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there's definitely days where like we butt heads or don't get along, but I think finding the right balance between him being my coach and being my dad has been really important. And we've kind of found that more and more over the years. And yeah, I'm super excited to just play my last year with him being my coach and just soaking it all in.
I really don't think as a dad, you know, like when I have her, like I consider all my girls, I've always told them, you're all my kids. I want to treat you like a dad. I respect you and care for you guys all that way. Just as a coach, you know, you got to cut that separation. Like, yes, she's my own blood, but she's one of my players. And, you know, I hold her standards just as high as all the other kids' standards. Having your own kid too, going back when you're a dad plus the coach, I mean, I get after her just as much as I get after the other kids. And it's kind of a, by example, like, oh geez, he's after Ashlyn, like I better do what he's telling me to do, because he really does mean it, because it's not just, oh, she knows everything or she's better and she's more skilled. It's everybody's on the same cut. It doesn't matter if you're the top or the bottom link. It's we're coaching you all up, and you all have expectations and standards that you need to abide by.
Her mom, Tara, is an assistant coach for Wagner, who brings balance to the bench.
She's definitely like the one that can settle him down and just like the encourager on the team, and then he's the one that's kind of like the more aggressive one. But yeah, they balance each other out well and usually figure it out, so.
She also had told me once she doesn't like that she's just known for basketball. And I said, what do you want your legacy to be, whatever it is? She goes, I just want people to know that I have these talents because of God. God gave me these talents, and I want to give him the glory that he deserves because of that. I can see her really trying to rise up to that during college and just hanging on to that a little bit tighter.
Ask the Copels and they'll tell you. They love Wagner, and they think it's a place that everyone can enjoy.
You know, there's a lot of people around the state like, oh, Wagner's from a reservation. You know, I just wish they could come and spend a few weeks here at our school, because it doesn't matter the color of our skin. All these kids are willing to give the clothes off their back and do whatever it takes to make it better.
Just here for the kids and here to make it a great experience for them, or try to get them to enjoy it and find some passion for it and keep going.
There's a lot of communities like ours that just like love their teams, love their community, and just support in any way they can, and I feel like that's how Wagner is. I feel like everyone here just knows everyone, so that's like a big help, and I just have a lot of family here too, so yeah, it's just been all really cool to be a part of.
This story was part of this year's Tales from the Hardwood show. To see the full show, visit sdpb.org/basketball. Back in a moment with more from Class A on SDPB 3.
Peterson Farm Seed Reps, real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm Seed Reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
On Masterpiece.
I couldn't leave you all on your own. You have to.
The D-Day veteran made a break for the coast.
Where is he? He's in France.
At 90.
Well, he has done it before. Only then, of course, they were shooting at him. He trusted me. We've never wasted 1 second together.
The Great Escaper on Masterpiece.
Tonight after basketball on SDPB.
And we're getting you ready for Wagner taking on West Central along with Nate Kading. I'm Steve Toom. Let's meet the starting lineup for the Wagner Red Raiders. Matea Bruyere, Braxton Nedved, Raven Madriski, Hayden Knutson, and Ashlyn Kopel. Just one senior on the entire team for Wagner, a team that scores 57 points per game and shoots 48% from the floor. Now let's meet the West Central Trojans, a team that fell yesterday to Machpelah-Luda, and Joel Caffrey is their head coach, and they've had a pretty good campaign at 18-5, beating Tri-Valley and then Mobridge Pollock to get the state. Ran into a bit of a buzzsaw yesterday. They hung with Machpelah-Luda for a little bit, but eventually fell by a score of 65-42. Let's meet their starting lineup for the Trojans. It's Ellie Knight, Mackenzie Skonhovd, Casey Jatan, their leading scorer, Aaliyah Kramer, and Abby Thornton. And that is the starting lineup for the Trojans. Should be a good game today. Nate, quick thoughts before we send it to PA.
Yeah, 29 turnovers they were forced into yesterday. Going to have to value the basketball, and anytime you're playing this Wagner group, how are they going to be able to defend one of the best players in the country, Ashlyn Kopel? Those are your things to look at here in this afternoon's ball game.
All right, let's turn it over to Ryan Neal, our public address announcer.
Good afternoon. The South Dakota High School Activities Association, along with its corporate partners, Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard welcome you to this third session of the State A Girls High School Basketball Tournament. This tournament is being conducted under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activities Association for the enjoyment and benefit of high school students. Good sportsmanship is essential for the success of these programs. We hope you will enjoy the games and support your athletes in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. And now let's go ahead and meet your starting lineup in alternating fashion.
I'm living in that 21st century, doing something mean to it, do it better than anybody you ever seen.
At one guard for the Red Raiders, 5'10" and a junior, number 10, Mateo Breyer. At a guard for West Central, 5'8" and a freshman, number 1, Ellie Knight. At a guard for the Red Raiders, 5'10" and a junior, number 14, Braxton Nedberg. At a guard for West Central, 5'8" and a junior, number 5, Mackenzie Scotto. At forward for the Red Raiders, 6'3" and a junior, number 20, Raven Madriski. At forward for West Central, 5'10" and a sophomore, number 10, Casey Jetta. At a guard for the Red Raiders, 5'9" and a junior, number 23, Hayden Knudsen. At a guard for West Central, 5'8" and a senior, number 14, Ayla Kramer. At forward for the Red Raiders, 6'3" and a senior, number 24, Ashley Copel. At forward for West Central, 5'8" and a senior, number 23, Abby Duarte. Assistant coaches for the Red Raiders, Courtney Baumgart, Travis Halliday, and Tara Copel. Assistant coaches for the Trojans, Jamie Jenkins and Tony Lanham. Head coach of the Raiders, Michael Copel, and head coach of the Trojans, Go Capri.
Matthew Berger, Andrew Lepowski, and Summer Lunderman are your officials for this particular contest. Wagner in the black uniforms with the red numbers and letters. The home whites for West Central. Thornton in the middle, along with Madriski, and the tip controlled by Copel.
Yeah, and we'll see the plan here of Coach Caffrey and how they plan on handling number 24, Ashton Copel. Last night against Sioux Falls Christian, she was probably stymied to a level that
probably hadn't seen in a while.
Yeah.
Sioux Falls Christian had 3 athletic bigs that were on her the whole time. There you see the triple team, and she lost the handle. Thornton takes it away. Knight on the move, throws it up, no good, and there's the weak side rebound by Knudsen.
Yeah, it looks like the Trojans just back into a little 2-3 right now.
Everywhere number 24 goes, they try to lob it to her, and it's off of her hands, out of bounds. She and number 14, Alia Kramer, battling for the ball. And there will be no pressure applied by Wagner as Knight slowly brings it into the front court, just underway, second game. Nice ball movement, shot too strong off the window, but there's Thornton with the rebound. Knight drives, Thornton drives the baseline. And there's Kramer, yes, on the 3.
Yeah, and that was a great find right there by Abby Thornton. They rotated on that kickback and found that open person.
Foul on number 10. That is Chiton trying to guard Copel. Chiton, just a sophomore, averages 18 points per game. She had 14.6 rebounds yesterday.
Yeah, no other teammates in double figures. She was the lone one in double figures. Mackenzie Schoenhovd with 9, and then a host of others below that.
They try the interior pass. It was tapped away, but Wagner recovers it. Looking inside, nobody open.
And to start yesterday's game, Wagner had some other, as they finally get it to Copel. Have tried that a couple times, and there you see the size and athleticism
Copel held to 15 points, 9 rebounds, well under her average of 28 and 14. Bounce pass and counted in the foul. 2 free throws coming up for Skonhove.
And she might have gotten away with a little extra step there, but they let her roll, and nice finish there by Mackenzie Skonhove.
And Copel gets the foul, her first. She was in foul trouble yesterday, fouled out of the game.
Yeah, and I was talking about for Wagner that Braxton Nedved and Hayden Knutson both hit some big shots yesterday. Nedved 4 of 7 from 3. Hayden Knutson 3 of 6 from 3. Really allowed them to kind of hang around in that first half when Sioux Falls Christian was trying to do whatever they can to take away Ashley Copel.
Hannah Holzbauer checks into the game. Number 12, she had 10 points off the bench yesterday. They go backside, tapped out of bounds, and it's going to go to Wagner. And it will be Nedved to trigger in from the side. Holzbauer, almost traveled there. They go backside to Madriski, and it was taken away by Knight. Outlet pass bumps off of a Wagner player out of bounds, stays with West Central.
Yeah, and that was a right idea early. They had sent that right block defender over to Copel, and so they were trying to find Madriski, just wasn't able to convert on that opportunity.
Here's a 3-pointer on the way. Jatan, no good. Long rebound collected by Knutson. Copel bottled up, has to give it away at the head of the lane. Copel gets it. Baseline J. Oh my, that was pretty.
Yeah, we saw that multiple times yesterday where a defender's right there and she just rises over the top.
Copel averages 4 assists per game and 4 blocks per game, but I don't think she got a block yesterday at all. Sioux Falls Christian was very smart in their approach, and there's Knight knocking down a long 3.
Wagner in their own version of their 2-3, and their Ellie Knight, they just didn't extend further enough out on her.
And that pass taken away, but taken back by Wagner. They're lucky to maintain possession. 4.5 minutes left to go. Bumped out of bounds. It's going to go off of Wagner. Timeout on the court. 4:33 left. 9-4. West Central on top of Wagner. Back in a moment on SDPB 3.
You kept us fed through tough times. And despite rising business costs, you keep doing what you love because you know you're making a difference. No matter the challenges, we're here to help you navigate the highs and lows to grow your business, to improve your land, or to buy new equipment. We all rely on you, and we're just happy to return the favor. Go with Allies. Go with trust. Go with Dakota Bank.
West Central ahead of Wagner 9-4 early on here. Consolation play, SDPB 3. These teams did not meet during the regular season.
And 4 early turnovers so far here from Wagner, and on the other side for the Trojans, 2 of 3 from 3.
And now they're going to bring out the trap. Does Wagner. Open shooter, Kramer, no. Rebound pulled down by Jatan. And West Central gets another crack at it. Into the paint, back outside. Thornton on the floor. Jatan open, fires, short. Rebound, Madriski had it. Knight takes it away. And it's thrown out to the middle of the court. Wagner has it. Copel on the move. Drives, cuts through. Oh, got a little off balance. And missed the shot.
Yes, tried to swing step over the top, and
Thornton outside. And here's a three, and it's good. Skonhold, she's got 6.
Yeah, and Skonhold had actually kind of lost her footing when she was running down in transition, gets up and then drills their 3rd 3 of the game.
Pass up ahead to Holzbauer. Madriski. Kopel on the move, and she was fouled. And not in the act of shooting, so they'll play it in from the baseline. Foul on West Central. Skonhold, that's her first, team second.
Yeah, Skonhold, I think, was calling for a sub right there as she limps off. She kind of fell in a similar way to Lizzie Robinson from Lakota Tech, right on that left hip.
They lob it in. Kopel lost the handle, and it's taken away by Thornton.
Kaylee Schultz smartly pinched down there. They got to locate shooters here.
Oh, a nice little crossover by Jatan, and she scores past Kopel.
Their leading scorer finally getting on the board with the nice right-left Euro step. Anytime you're going to challenge 24 in the length and size, and here's another turnover.
That's Knight who made the defensive play. Bounce pass, Schultz missed the layup. Knight keeps it alive, retreats to the perimeter. Thought about the 3. Jatan the long 3, short of the mark, and the rebound saved by Jatan. And it will count, and the foul.
Jatan came to that quick little jump stop. You're going to see it on the replay, and then just stepped right past Kopel to the finish. And that'll be Ashton Kopel's 2nd foul here, only in the 1st.
Yeah, and she was in foul trouble yesterday, and West Central just taking it to Wagner right now. And Jatan at the line, 78% on the year. This young lady's just a sophomore, but very impressive. And I think Wagner wants to call a timeout.
I think Coach Kopel actually might have just picked up either a warning or a
that's right, no
technical
timeout.
Foul. Yeah, bench warning.
Yep, bench warning assigned to Wagner as they're down by a dozen early on. Kopel throws it ahead. And will get it back on the perimeter. Launches a 3 that's short of the mark, but the rebound to Wagner. Nedved out on the perimeter.
Yeah, Wagner just kind of struggling on the zone attack. Here they try to run Bruyere baseline to baseline.
Kopel through traffic. And she, I believe, was going to be, oh, it's a jump ball called. Kopel can't believe it, and it's going to be West Central basketball with 2:11 left.
Anytime she puts it on the deck right now, those Trojans, as you would assume they would, they're just shrinking the floor, digging hard on that basketball.
It has just been all West Central here in the early going.
Yeah, and Wagner up to 7 turnovers here.
Knight, 3, short. Rebound fought for. Jatan has it. Fires up an air ball. It goes into the Wagner cheering section.
The other thing that's been really important here to the Trojans in this first quarter, 6 offensive rebounds. They've got up 15 field goal attempts compared to Wagner's 4.
Holzbauer throws it ahead. Kopel collects it. Passes Madriski, and she was fouled. Madriski did not score yesterday. The 6'3" junior.
And Madriski's caught it a couple times in those scenarios, and when you get point-blank opportunities like that, you got to make sure you're taking advantage.
Kopel forces it up, counted in the foul. That last foul, by the way, was on Ellie Knight. We'll have another foul here, and this one will be on Ella Harden, her first.
And after we talked yesterday about how those auxiliary players beyond Ashlyn Kopel were really important, So far, they haven't even, no one not named Ashlyn Copel has attempted a field goal here so far, 7 minutes in.
A lot of familiar names out here for Wagner. You're looking at pretty much their volleyball team as well. They had a run to the state tournament this year. Shot missed. Trojans get it back on the offensive rebound. Chaton backs in, throws it outside. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Also into the game, that's Bailey Stallman, number 2, handled it there momentarily. Oh, and we're going to have a foul as Madriski hit the deck on the move by Chaton.
And that was one of the better defensive possessions from the Red Raiders there, and Trojans really couldn't get any advantages or much space or separation.
Chaton thought about it, but they got a fresh shot clock. No need for the Trojans to be in a hurry as Stallman drives, backs it out. Oh, errant pass, and it's going to be collected by Wagner. And that was Knutson who comes up with it, but it's stolen back by the Trojans. Chaton floats it up short, rebound Copel. And we're going to have a blocking foul on Chaton, and that is going to be her second. And that gets a sub up quickly off the West Central bench.
Yeah, and as a coach there, when Chaton misses that left-handed finish, you don't want to make 2 mistakes all at once and pick up a foul that'll actually send Ashlyn Copel down, because they're already in the bonus here. Pick up a foul 70 feet away from the basket.
Thornton into the game along with Kramer, who's back in. 2 free throws coming up. Copel on the year 87% at the free throw line. Yes, Mandy Copel is her aunt. And Ashlyn surpassed her school scoring record. And Mandy sent a congratulations note. Was very, very proud of her. And
yeah. I would expect as much, Steve. I'm sure she's super proud of her, and both incredibly good basketball players.
Oh, I remember Mandy Copel well at the University of South Dakota as Thornton gets the nice move and scores.
That was a nice, fine little hesitation move. Got downhill by Ellie Knight.
There's a steal by Schultz. Looking for an outside shooter. Plenty of time. Thornton throws it outside. And they're going to play for the final shot with 10 seconds. Here comes the double team. Almost a steal. Thornton down low, wide open, but missing the Skonhold. Had it blocked by Copel, and we're done with 1 period of play. West Central impressive out to the 19-8 start. Back with the second quarter in just a moment, right here on SDPB.
You're committed to building relationships, to exceeding expectations, to serving your community. Your financial partner should share your vision and your values. For 130 years, we've stood by South Dakotans. We've been there, we'll be there. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West, member FDIC.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
One quarter in the books. West Central on top of Wagner, 19-8. Ashlyn Copel has all of Wagner's points here in this early going, the second contest of the day.
Yeah, and Wagner was only able to get up 5 field goal attempts there, compounded by their 9 turnovers that they had in that first quarter.
Nedved collects it on the outside, gives it back to Copel. She'll direct traffic. There are only 2 losses on the regular season as Holzbauer drives and gets hammered, but I think she got called for traveling.
And Holzbauer provided some great minutes yesterday. 21 minutes, had 10 points, 4 of 6 shooting, and there was a good attack. Just kind of shuffled their feet as she was doing so.
They're going to need Holzbauer to step up, and here's a 3. It's good by Ellie Knight. She's got 6. And West Central getting a lot of players involved in the offense.
Yeah, and a lot of shots to be found against this Wagner zone right now. They're 4 of 10 from 3. And here's Kaylee Schultz. You're seeing her defensive activity here.
Yep, almost got the steal, but Wagner keeps possession. 15 on the shot clock. Kopel turns around, fires good. She's got all 10 of Wagner's points.
Not a whole lot you can do about that one if you're West Central.
No, when you got a 6'3" player who can elevate like she can. Remember, she is a 5-time state high jump champion. I wonder if the Nebraska track coaches are going to say, hey, you know, if Ashland's not busy during track season, we could use her.
Not sure Coach Williams is going to maybe love that one. But.
Blocked there by Kopel. Nedved thought about it. Kopel 3 off the mark. And we're going to have a push foul on the rebound. Looks like it's going to be against West Central.
Yeah, Madriski had inside position right there, and I think Schoenholt had to push her in the back.
That's her second personal.
I think they're trying to wave in the sub here,
yep.
Brewer.
And it's going to be Madriski who's going to get a break. Madriski, a standout volleyball player. She's a junior and plans on playing volleyball at the next level. Hasn't made a decision yet, but got to see her the last couple of years at A, and she's a very good volleyball player. As we're back to action. The 3 is good by Braxton Nedved.
And they needed that one. Nedved, one of their better 3-point shooters, 36% on the season. Hit a bunch of them yesterday.
Yeah, she had 12 points yesterday. Did Nedved. I think they were all 3-pointers. Knight drives, open shooter Thornton, couldn't fire it, slept out of bounds by Wagner. It stays with the Trojans. 5:52 left until halftime. 9-point edge, West Central.
Yeah, and West Central, their leading scorer, Casey Jatan, on the bench with 2 fouls here.
Bounce pass, back outside. Good ball movement by the Trojans. 5 on the shot clock, Thornton. And here's going to be a travel as the shot clock was winding out. Good defensive stand by the Red Raiders.
The Trojans have gotten the ball a couple times inside, and just the presence of 6'3" Ashlyn Kopel back there. They've made a couple business decisions and kicked it out and not challenged her. And that was the one thing last night. Sioux Falls Christian and Leslie Stetzer they absolutely went right at her, got her in foul trouble, also created a lot of offense by doing it.
Oh my gosh, there was a hard collision in the paint as Holzbauer hit the deck hard. Foul on West Central. Check that out again. Schultz with the foul, her first. Kopel looking to trigger it in to the corner, a 3, that's no good, but the long rebound pulled down by Nedved, almost lost the handle. Like the thought there from Wagner with the quick strike 3-point attempt.
Yeah, had one underneath out of bounds, and that's good ball movement right there. Yeah,
and that's a great shot by Kopel, who's shooting over 45% from the arc. And a 30-second timeout has been called by Wagner. Will keep it here as they've cut that lead down to 6 points. And watch the ball movement and watch the stroke. Just great form.
Yeah, textbook action right there. Get into the high post, look opposite. And Ashlyn Kopel, we've talked a lot. I mean, for being how big she is, she's super skilled. Shoots the basketball 46% from 3 and you give her an open look or space, you might as well just mark it down on the score column.
You know, when I was in high school, Tim Ashe was a senior when I was a freshman. He played a great year at Dakota State, and sometimes when he would launch a shot from 20 feet, our guys would start running down the other way. Ashley Copel's like that. You see her get an open look like that, might as well go play defense.
Put the three up there and rotate back. But yeah, a good little surge here from Wagner. 8-0 run over the last 2 minutes, and as I mentioned, kind of coincided with Casey Jeton being on the bench, but Coach Caffrey has inserted her back in the game.
Yeah, I just noticed that she's back out on the court, and she'll take it in the high post, give it back to Knight, gets it back again, turns, she'll back it out. Kramer with the ball to Knight, working down that shot clock as they'll pass it to Thornton. A nice soft touch. Great ball movement by West Central.
You've seen Ellie Knight use that right-handed hesitation multiple times to get her feet to the paint. Good vision there. Third assist on the game for her.
Copel up high takes it. Always 2 defenders near her, sometimes 3. Bruyere in the corner.
Yeah, and then rather, you know, Wagner, and we've seen a bunch of zone attacks, and as the shot clock winds down, they got to make a little quicker decision with the basketball.
There's the open shooter, but it's going to be short of the mark, and there's Kramer with the rebound. Knight will set up the offense. Kramer drives, bounce pass. That one was kicked, and it will stay along the baseline. Timeout on the court, 3:41 left to go here in the second quarter. 24-16, West Central on top. Back in a moment, right here on SDPB3.
For your little ones and your biggest joys, or your forever friends and your fur kids too. For your better half, or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
West Central with the 24-16 lead over Wagner. Along with Nate Kading, I'm Steve Toom. Great to have you here. Day number 2, Class A girls basketball tournament. We're in consolation play as Jeton takes a 3, and it's good.
And you never want to leave the basketball, especially when it's leading scorer, 18 a game, Casey Jeton. You're matched up on the ball. You got to stay on the ball until somebody bumps you off.
Traveling turnover, Wagner as Bruyere shuffled her feet. And the lead 11 for West Central.
And that was the difference in that Wagner mini run right there. They were getting shots. They were valuing the basketball.
Jeton open again. Yes.
Their rotations right now in the zone have not been where they need to be.
Nedved with the ball to Bruyere. Thought about the 3, gives it back. Nedved lines it up, off the mark. The rebound, good box out by Skonhovd.
Yeah, that was a nice box out inside, and then Skonhovd rebounding down just like you're supposed to.
Jeton turns around, fires. That one no good, and Copel clears it away. She's on the move. We'll swing it over to Nedved. Here's Copel flashing through the paint, puts it up, and she was fouled.
Yeah, and you see the activity level that Ashlyn Copel takes it up on the break, wing enters, hard cuts to that strong side block. That was a decent little wall up, but she kind of got underneath that wall up, and that body to arm or shoulder contact, probably the right call.
Thornton with the foul, her first. 3 of 4 now is Copel at the free throw line. And she got them both. And she's got 15. 15 of their 18 points.
Yeah, she's already matched the output that she had last night as Skonov knocks down the long 2.
Yep, a nice baseline shot there by number 5. And West Central very effective today as that three-pointer is no good. Madriski fighting for the rebound, jump ball, possession arrow, Trojans.
In West Central, just daring Matea Breuer to shoot threes right now. Only 25% on the year. She was able to knock one down yesterday, only 1 of 6, but when they throw to her on the wing, they're just backing hard right off of her. You can see Wagner now just switching back man to man.
And Knight calls out the play. A lot of time on the shot clock still, 15 seconds and counting. She'll get it back, drive, kick up to the top of the key. Jatan floats it up, short of the mark, another rebound for Copel. Copel almost lost the handle, gets it back, step back, jumper, yes, my, that was pretty.
It's just so smooth coming out of her hand, and shoots it so straight. And yeah, that's a lot of time and a lot of hours right there.
Coming up on the 1-minute mark. 12-point lead for the Trojans as they operate on offense with Knight. Step back, 3-ball, yes.
The Trojans 7th 3 of the night right there, 7 of 13.
Nedved directing some traffic. Looking inside for Copel, has to give it outside to Breuer instead. There's the screen set. Copel kicks it outside. 12 on the shot clock. Breuer traveled. Turnover, Wagner. With 33 seconds left, shot clock is off. Opportunity for West Central to play for the final opportunity. They have been in control. Their execution has been well, and they're hitting some three-pointers.
Yeah, and forced Wagner into 12 turnovers here in this first half. Here Wagner tries to heat up Ellie Knight.
And West Central is going to call a timeout. They want to set things up for this final shot. 19.4 seconds left on the clock. You know, we mentioned Mandy Copel earlier. Obviously, you know, it's a big shadow to be under, but I think the family has handled it very well. They're obviously Mandy Copel, 2-time National Player of the Year, Division II, had a stellar career at the University of South Dakota. And I remember going to the Dome and watching those games back in the 90s. And, you know, she was a double-double, 20 points, 12, 15 rebounds every night out. And Ashlyn has developed her own game, and she has, you know, stepped out of that shadow. And you know, the people in the community of Wagner couldn't be happier for her.
Yeah, and I've said this a bunch about her, that the family and when you have the ability level and all the shine and the accolades that she's received, she's one of the most humble people that you'll meet, and the family's about the right things. And I mentioned the same thing about Ashlyn Carlo Blunt. It's just it's nice to see in today's day and age and how we are at times in society to see a couple of young athletes be about the things that those two are.
Yep. Standout character describes both of those athletes as we get back to action here. Knight passes down low. Kramer too strong off the window. Holzbauer clears it away. 4 seconds left. Nedved throws it up ahead, but they can't get a shot off, and that is how the first half will end, with West Central on top of Wagner, 35-20. The Trojans have been in control of this contest. We'll come back with more from Watertown in the Class A Girls Basketball Tournament in a moment, right here on SDPB 3.
As much as you have accomplished, there are times you'd rather not go it alone. While you determine what direction you go, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with community. Go with neighbors. Go with understanding. Go with support.
Don't be fooled by that beat-up old cap. Its faded crown represents the tireless work of America's farmers and ranchers. Its sturdy brim, their dedication to providing our nation with a safe, affordable food source. From sunup to sundown, they're turning quarters into the dollars that drive our rural economy. So we'd like to tip our hat to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. To ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
We're at halftime of our second consolation game here in Watertown. Class A girls basketball, SDPB3, along with Nate Kading. I'm Steve Toom. You see our score, 35 for West Central, 20 for Wagner, and 17 of those 20 points for Wagner has been from Ashlyn Copel, as she has been pretty much the offense. But West Central, they have got a good balanced attack, and they're just finding the open shooters time and again.
Wagner actually shooting a higher percentage right now in the first half, but they just simply haven't been able to get as many shots. West Central's doubled them up on field goal attempts, 13 to 30. Wagner only 7 of 15, and that is the reason Wagner's got 13 turnovers. West Central has 8 offensive rebounds, and those two things are the reason for the disparity. And so it's tough to be winning or even tied in situations where teams are getting twice as many shots as you.
Yeah, turnovers and offensive rebounds have definitely hurt Wagner, as Nedved has got the only other bucket, a three-pointer. But West Central spreading it around. They have had all of their starters score. And they got one player in double figures with Jatan, but Knight has 9 and Skonhove has 8.
And shooting the basketball very well, 7 of 13 from 3. You saw Wagner playing that zone defense for much of the first quarter, a little bit of the second, and then they ended up having to get out of that and play man-to-man those last couple minutes because West Central was moving the ball so well and they were shooting the basketball so well. And the other thing you like to see, West Central 12 assists on their 13 made field goals. You love that, your Coach Caffrey and their staff.
Yeah, 12 steals for West Central. They're also controlling the paint, 10 points in the paint compared to just 4 for Wagner. And that rebounding, +4 for West Central, and 8 critical more turnovers for Wagner. And Wagner's got to clean that up in the second half.
Yeah, no question. And it's really, West Central's not full court press, and it's really decision making in the half court on making a little bit quicker decisions when West Central's in this zone, not bouncing the ball when you don't need to, using your dribble with a purpose. And it's a little bit of a give and take with Ashlyn Copel, who has 3 turnovers, because they need her to just be uber aggressive in order for them to have the success that they would like to have.
14 points off turnovers for West Central, just 5 for Wagner. Another key stat favoring West Central, and that's why they're up 35-20 here at the break. We'll take a timeout, come back with more. This is Class A basketball. You're watching SDPB 3.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station at Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
Back at the Class A girls basketball tournament here in Watertown, West Central at the break, ahead of Wagner, 35-20. In Play with Craig Maddock brings you in-depth conversation about everything happening in South Dakota sports. Each episode dives into the players, the programs, and the legends who've shaped the sports landscape of the Mount Rushmore State. You can find the podcast on Apple, Google, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. And if you enjoy it, leave us a 5-star review so fans can discover the show. It's In Play with Craig Maddock. All right, what's Wagner got to do, Nate, to get back into this contest? They're down by 15 here at the intermission.
The first thing, and we've mentioned it a lot, is they need to value the basketball, no question. They got to be able to get up more shot attempts than they are, and just be able to create some more possessions for themselves. They're not a high-pressure defensive unit, but it'll be interesting to see what Coach Kopel comes out, if he stays with that zone, because West Central is really having their way with it, or if they switch back to that man-to-man defense. The other thing is they have great size, even when they do shoot. You know, Madriski and Kopel getting on the glass. And then lastly, like this team, you can't be a one-person outfit. We all know, everyone knows how good Ashlyn Kopel is, but you need some of that supporting cast to step up, be a little bit more aggressive. We saw it early yesterday. They're more than capable of doing so. You don't win 19 games without having that. Regardless of how good Ashlyn Kopel is, you need those people. So they need to step up here a little bit more in the second half.
Yeah, we're just moments away from the start of this contest. Remember, our semifinals begin at 5 Central, 4 Mountain Time. We'll have Hamlin against Lennox, and then it's a rematch from last year's title game, Sioux Falls Christian against Makpia Luta. Should be a dandy tonight.
Semifinal Friday night. Some might say it's even better than Championship Saturday, Steve. We get 2 games rather than 1, but they're both special in their own way.
Yep. I always say that Art, you make a case that semifinal Friday night is always the most exciting night of the tournament because there's just such an electric atmosphere in the arena, and we expect that and a full crowd here tonight in Watertown. But don't worry, folks, the best seat in the house right here with SDPB as Wagner starts the third period with the basketball. They've got some work to do. They're down by 15.
I think they were trying to free Ashlyn Copel there initially. It's just having multiple bodies always stuck around her.
Knight picks up the foul, and that is her second. And right away, you saw she caught the ball. 3 white jerseys around Ashlyn Copel. They'll kick it out to Nedved.
And those are the situations. You got to be shot ready. You got to be willing. If you're Nedved, there's another nice just rise over the top.
And here's the quick opportunity, and Copel tips the rebound as Skonhove missed it. Copel in the open court. Steps, fires 3, and she thought it was tipped, and it was not. According to the officials, Coach Copel can't believe it, and it's going to go. Oh, they're going to overrule.
I think they're going to, reverse it. I think Abby Thornton was trailing the play right there. I believe it was her getting a hand in, and I think that's the right call. I don't know if Ashlyn Copel has ever airballed a decent look like that without the basketball getting deflected.
Well, they got 28 on the shot clock to work with through the Red Raiders. So that was Kramer hitting the deck. Saved at half court to Bruyere. Fade away, no good. Rebound to Jatan.
It's a nice pitch ahead to Thornton, yeah. Good vision there by Ellie Knight. 5th assist of the game.
Yeah, and West Central's doing such a good job of sharing the basketball. I've heard many a coach say when you share the basketball, good things happen no matter what level you're playing at.
They're trying to X their posts out between Madriski and Copel and ended up working it in. You'd like to see those perimeter players. Right now they got Bruyere in Medved and Fisher out on the perimeter, just being a little bit more, Nedved and Knutson out on the perimeter, being a little bit more shot ready and being willing to catch and shoot open shots. And because right now you just, when you don't have that threat as West Central defensively, they're plugging the high posts and they're plugging those low posts as much as possible.
Knight got the foul. That's her third. She'll check out in favor of number 21, Kaylee Schultz. Copel, 21 points now. And the lead is 13.
Yeah, Wagner coming out just man-to-man, not going back to that zone quite yet.
Jatan, yes.
You see that skill level right there. The pullback cross, step away, and knocks it down.
That's just impressive for that young lady who's just a sophomore.
Yeah, and she also already has a multitude, couple Division II offers, University of South Dakota, and there's Ashlyn Copel with the answer.
And a quick timeout has been called by Wagner. It's a 30-second timeout called with 5:47 left to go, 40-27. West Central still on top, and 24 points now for Ashlyn Copel. Also has 5 rebounds, but just 1 assist on the day, 3 turnovers. Still a very impressive stat line for that young lady, but she's going to have to carry the load here today. Only 1 other player has scored so far for Wagner.
And Wagner's done a better job getting shots up, taking care of the basketball. No turnovers here in the second half, but anytime we've mentioned it a ton, anytime you dig yourself a double figure hole when you're trying to get back in it, you need to be able to string some stops together.
It will be Kramer to trigger it in. And it'll be Chetan running the show. Remember, Knight, their normal point guard, on the bench with 3 fouls. Wagner spreading out that defense.
Yeah, and they run this action. They get a little UCLA into a flex and then stagger away.
And there's the drive by Kramer, and Kopel pulls away the rebound. She wants to run. Can't get around Schultz. She's directing traffic now as she picks up her dribble. Nedved, skip pass, Kopel is open. She'll fire the 3. It's going to be short of the mark. And the rebound to Thornton, and I think she was fouled. Nedved came in there. Will they issue a foul on Nedved?
And Kopel almost hesitated a little bit with that first open look that she had, and yeah, I think they got Nedved with a foul there.
Yep, they did. That's her first. Team's first. 5 minutes to go here in the quarter. The lead is 13 for the Trojans. Coming out to take that pass, Schultz. And we're going to have a holding foul, and that's going to be on Wagner. And we will take a timeout. Come back with more in a moment right here on SDPB.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride, the values driving farmers also powers South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
Get a look at some of the Wagner fans here. They did the blackout theme today for their fans as they're wearing the black uniforms, Trojans in the white.
Looking like a couple ninjas over there with the...
Well, if they were ninjas, you wouldn't notice them.
Well, a couple of the head covers or face covers. I like it.
Back to action here. West Central with the basketball, playing from underneath. Thornton had it, lost it. Goes to the outside to collect it, puts it on the floor. Skonhove with it. Drives on Madriski. It will not fall, and Kopel clears away another rebound.
Yeah, hasn't been a ton of flow for West Central against this man-to-man defense.
And there's an open 3, and it's good by Kopel as her defender fell down.
Her 27th point of the night. 27 out of the 30 from Ashlyn Kopel.
And Skonhove drives, short, rebound Madriski. Oh, but Kopel wasn't established back in bounds yet. And an unforced error for Wagner.
Yeah, and I was wondering if Coach Caffrey would go back to Ellie Knight here when you just have another handler out on the floor and creator. Offense seems to flow quite a bit better when she's in the game.
Yep, Knight, a freshman. And she'll trigger it in, get it back quickly. Drives, Thornton on the move. Won't put the shot up, but Chetan will. It's short, and the rebound, Kopel. She's on the run, goes behind the back, guarded by Knight. Oh, lost the handle, got it back.
Might have got away with the little double dribble there, I think.
Pass up top, Holzbauer. Kopel. Here's a shot, a 3, short of the mark by Nedved. Rebound to West Central. Chetan fires, but is no good, and a rebounding foul. Looks like that's going to be on West Central, and Skonhove, if so, that is her third. as Madriski fighting for position. Madriski is going to get a break. Bruyere in for Wagner. Third team foul. Lead is 10. Wagner still down by 4 possessions, but they're hanging around in this one.
Yeah, West Central 0 of their last 5 from the floor. Haven't scored in about 3 minutes.
Bruyere has a trouble handling it, but they swing it around to Nedved. In the corner is Kopel. Pass underneath. Thornton steps in the way to pick it off. They'll slow it down with Kramer now to Knight. Under 3 minutes to go. Knight drives, blocked. Thornton lost it. Kopel has it. And we're going to have players colliding left and right. Kopel hits the deck.
And she ends up exerting a lot of energy.
Yeah.
She never comes off the floor, and their primary ball handler gets rebounds, tries to go in transition because she knows that's going to be one of the very few times that she ends up with maybe some space to deal.
Near steal, and we are going to have a quick timeout called by West Central as Ellie Knight got the steal near half court. We are going to have a full timeout. We'll step away for a moment right here on SDPB.
For over 55 years, Muth Electric has been powering progress across the Midwest. Our team of professionals deliver electrical solutions with innovation and safety at the core. We work with purpose, knowing that each project contributes to something bigger. Muth Electric, a partner in building a brighter future since 1970.
Since 1882, we've raised 5 generations of hardworking Americans on this land. Our great-great-grandfather believed in something simple: respect the land and it will provide. Anthem Oats, grown by us, shared with you.
Get a look at some of the West Central cheerleaders there doing the heavy lifting. That's pretty impressive for those young ladies. There you see the Wagner cheerleaders trying to rally their team and their fans. They're going to have to dig in on defense. They're down by 10 as West Central operates out of the timeout. Jatan with it, trying to get loose. Bounce past Thornton, gets loose along the baseline. Oh, she had an open shot, but passed it by because of the presence of Kopel, who gets that rebound off the miss by Jatan.
Yeah, she impacted multiple shots right there before the shot, and then on the kick out to Jatan, as you see her ability to get out in transition and draw that foul. West Central now going on 4 minutes without a bucket or a point.
Back to the line, Ashlyn Kopel missed her first free throw, has hit 6 in a row since. Yes. That foul was on Thornton, her second, team's 4th.
And Wagner so far outscoring West Central 11-5 in this third quarter, about to be 12-5.
Yep. This is just kind of what the doctor ordered for Wagner, who were down by 15 at the break. They've cut it to 8. Knight operating out there with 3 fouls. A little give and go, too strong, but Knight clears the rebound. Pulls it back outside to reset at the 2-minute mark. Here's Skonhove to 3, and it's good.
And a much-needed 3 there by Mackenzie Skonhove. Her second one of the game, 2 of 2 from deep.
There's a drive and a steal by Knight. She's looking to go coast to coast. Little drop step and nice little crossover, and she'll get some free throws.
Yeah, nice coast-to-coast take, and it's kind of right, left, step around.
Knutson with the foul, her second, team 3rd.
And Ellie Knight, a 60% foul shooter. That would be her first attempt of the game. Was 4 of 8 yesterday.
Yep, she had 6 points, 4 assists. She really does a good job of directing this offense. Again, folks, she's just a freshman. And that one will go. Again, you look at freshman, junior, sophomore, senior in that starting lineup for West Central, and then they bring a sophomore and a freshman off the bench and another sophomore as their 3 main reserves.
Yeah, we got a host of young athletes here. You got the 2 senior quote-unquote headliners in Copel and Carlo Blunt, but then you got a host of 7th, 8th, sophomores, freshmen that are at this tournament. Special display of some quality young athletes.
Yeah, and it's just been impressive as Wagner called a timeout there as Braxton Nedved was bottled up along the baseline, and to save the possession, Wagner spends the timeout. We mentioned boys basketball earlier. Our coverage continues next week. We start on Thursday the 19th. 2 of the tournaments will be in Rapid City. Class AA, that's on SDPB 1. And of course, Class A is on SDPB 3. Now, Class B will be on SDPB 2, and that, of course, will take place in Aberdeen. And those will have the same start times as the sessions for this week's tournament, so which means 11 a.m. local and then 5 p.m. local time. Those will be the starting times of the sessions for the boys basketball championships next week.
Do you want to make any predictions, Steve? Are you trying to jump on that, or no? You're not gonna make any predictions. Sioux Falls Lincoln unbeaten, West Central unbeaten.
Well, I'll tell you what, I did get to see Sioux Falls Lincoln play, and I won't go out on a limb and say they're the odds-on favorite. They're an impressive team, but we're going to have a whistle and an offensive foul on Wagner on the inbounds play. Ashlyn Copel asking for a clarification.
And that's going to be Ashlyn Copel's 3rd foul. She was trying to clear some space up top. Maybe a bit of a sell job as the defender, and got the call.
Michael Copel asking for a clarification. He's not happy with the whistle, and we play on. That is a critical 3rd foul on Ashlyn Copel. Thornton passes into the paint. And that is going to be Jatan called for traveling, trying to get away from the twin towers of Madriski and Copel.
He was trying to step through there and just pivot foot. Did not stay stuck to the ground.
Skonhove's going to get a break. Schultz into the game, number 21 for West Central. Trojans up by a dozen. Olsbauer tried to set the screen there. Skip pass. Knutson with him momentarily.
You can see the effort that Kaylee Schultz, she's kind of a defensive dynamo for him. Not going to really look to be too aggressive, and here's a created turnover.
And there's Knight, but missed it. And the rebound fought for, pulled away by Wagner. Shot clock and game clock nearly identical. Madriski gives it back to Copel. In the corner, wide open shooter, and it is no good on the miss by Nedved, out of bounds. They're going to give it, they initially said, one of the referees said West Central, the other one overruled, said Wagner gets the ball, shot clock is off.
They were all over that one, getting that figured out. Yeah, correct. He had a little better view of it, I think, from that side.
All right, Copel will trigger. Throws it up to Knutson. It's it back to Copel. Gives way to Bruyere. Or check that, that's Nedved with it. They pass it into Madriski, but it's over her head. 5 seconds left. There is time for West Central. Jatan pulls up, no, and Copel gets the rebound. We're done with 3 periods. 44-32. West Central on top. Back in a moment on SDPB 3.
Our Peterson Farm seed reps, real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm seed reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
All right, we're back. West Central on top here, 44-32, as the Trojans play it in.
Yeah, Trojans only one of their last 12 from the floor there. Wagner actually won that third quarter, outscored them by 3, but still have a ways to go here to make this a game.
Kramer on the miss, rebound Nedved. And the pass inside taken away by Kramer.
Be Wagner's 20th turnover of the game. Just those are the possessions as this clock just continues to wind down that you're going to want back at the end of the game.
Knight with the ball, also participates in volleyball and track for West Central. Jatan open 3, no. Kopel with the rebound. Step back, 3 ball, in and out, and Thornton gets the rebounds. Thornton, by the way, signed to play soccer at Dakota State.
Yeah, Wagner could have really used that one to fall down, make this a single-digit game.
Here's a drive, shut down, throw to the outside, Thornton collects it. And Knight gonna back it out with 10 on the shot clock.
Coach Caffrey just calling 4 low. Ellie Knight going one-on-one.
I think we're gonna catch Braxton Nedved with the foul, and that is her second.
Yeah, and Ellie Knight has just continued to get downhill. She hits him with that right-hand hesitation about every time she gets in a situation like that, but it continues to be effective.
Jatan has the fresh shot clock to work with, so she'll back it out. Here's Knight on the cut, pass tipped, but to Thornton, blocked away by Kopel. And it's taken away by Knight. New opportunity for West Central.
And West Central they've been extremely sure with the basketball. That was only their 7th turnover that they ended up recovering right back with another steal.
Schultz, here's Kramer, a 3, rolls off the rim, and Kopel takes it away from Thornton. Kopel directing traffic, trying to clear everybody out, puts it up off balance, no good. She'll get her own rebound and puts it up off balance. Might have gotten away with the travel, and the ball goes to West Central on the rebound.
Rather than focusing on the finish there, I think Ashlyn Kopel was just trying to draw that foul, and that's what you always want, your eyes up and got to play through that contact and not try to always seek it out.
Thornton drives, and Kopel comes away with it. She's on the move again. And she'll put it up short. Rebound, Kramer. Under 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, both teams here, 3 minutes in, have not put up a single point here in the 4th quarter.
And West Central, that just works to their advantage, as we are going to have a whistle and a foul. Timeout on the court, 4:46 left to go, 3rd quarter. We're still at 44-32. Back in a moment, right here on SDPB 3.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
Hey, buddy.
There you get a look at some of the West Central fans as their team is up by a dozen here. They got a lot to cheer about. Is their team in control of their game? 4:46 left to go. Nobody has scored here in this fourth period of play. And now the clock's starting to become more and more of an enemy of Wagner and an ally of West Central. And they got a chance, West Central does, to get some points here at the free throw line.
And Jatan, who hasn't had a real typical shooting performance as she knocks that one down. She's only 3 of 10 from 3, 5 of 20 from the floor. Her shooting percentages generally are a little higher than that.
Holzbauer gets the rebound. By the way, that last foul was on Madriski of Wagner, her second. Here comes the double team. Nedved collects the pass. Oh, Kopel was wide open. She'll get to the baseline and a push foul.
Yeah, I think they had that right on the drive there before the shot. So going to be baseline under. And you mentioned it, Steve. This is where the time becomes even more important.
Skonhove limping to the bench there, number 5, as she fell and it landed awkwardly. Schultz will come, or check that. Yeah, Schultz will come in to replace her. Fresh shot clock for Wagner, but they need points in a hurry. Down by 13 as Kopel drives. Oh, dropped it off for someone, but Holzbauer picks it up near the perimeter, or way out on the perimeter.
Still got plenty of time on the shot clock here.
They lob it down low for Madriski. Had trouble handling it, tapped away off of West Central.
And that was the right idea, try to throw over the top. That help side did come over from Jatan. And if you're Madriski there, you want to be able to try to keep that basketball high.
Three-pointer on the way, too strong. Tipped away, but Kopel picks it up. Off the window, counted in the foul.
And Kopel just extended. You're going to see it on the replay. Ellie Knight tried to get a wall up there, vertical wall up, leaving her feet. But when you go into the body like that, you got to make sure you're going straight up and down. That was an easy one for the officials.
Knight's 4th personal foul and another bucket. 32 points for Kopel. She has 32 of their 35 points. Under 4 minutes to go. 10-point lead, West Central. Jatan was open for a moment, drives, bounce pass, got away from Thornton. It's tipped away. Madriski got it.
Had an opportunity to cut this to single digits.
Kopel weaves in, counted in the foul.
2 straight and 1 opportunities from Ashlyn Kopel. And her 34th point of the game.
Thornton with the foul, her 3rd.
And you kind of expect it after only being held to 12 shots last night, only 15 points. You knew she was going to come out and have an ultra aggressive game, and we've seen that.
And the lead has been chopped to 7. Was 15.
Yeah, and ever since Wagner switched back to this man-to-man defense. It hasn't been smooth sailing for the Trojans.
Schultz out on the perimeter, gives way to Knight. Guarded there by Knudsen. 8 on the shot clock. Knight goes to work, gets down the lane, floats it up, short. Kopel yet another rebound.
And when you're able to get stops like this, you're able to get opportunities without defenses set, as Nedved was a little off the mark.
But that's a good shot. She was wide open, but just couldn't make it. And now Wagner's going to extend that defense a bit. Maybe the double team, maybe a trap. Jeton gets around Kopel, scoops it up, no good. Holzbauer fighting for it. Madriski fighting for it. But there's, I think it was Schultz in there. Jump ball, possession arrow. Wagner with 2:28 left.
That was a heck of an effort play by Kaylee Schultz flying in. It is Wagner's ball after the possession. And West Central have had 2 point-blank shots. Ellie Knight right at the rim, Casey Jeton at the rim, that haven't been able to convert.
Kopel fadeaway short. Holzbauer, oh, just beyond her fingertips and into the hands of Ellie Knight. Coming up on the 2-minute mark. West Central, looks like Wagner's trying to get a trap somewhere as they're really coming out and applying the pressure. And a bump foul on Knudsen. That's her third. Almost over and back there.
Yeah, only going to be Wagner's third team foul this quarter, so they still got one more foul to give before West Central's in the bonus.
They'll get it in tonight. She's being chased. Double teamed, and a timeout is going to be called by West Central with 1:52 left. That'll leave them only 2 timeouts. And also Wagner with 2 timeouts.
And you're seeing from West Central, and I said this in an earlier game yesterday, that you want to try to marry up being able to take some time off the clock, but still being able to execute at the end of shot clocks and still be able to execute and stay aggressive, right? Because there's times where you just become going to too much of a stall mode, and it just kind of kills your offense, and there's no fluidity to it unless you have something that you're just going to completely go to at the end of the clock and your team's used to it. So you want to be able to try to marry those 2 things up and shorten this game, but you still got to be able, you can't go scoreless for the next minute 50.
No, I think the old phrase we used to use was shut down the factory. You know, you can't do that if you're a lead, if you've got the lead, and just hoping the clock will run out on the other team.
Yeah, you want to play to win and not to not lose.
Exactly. Knight, 3. Long rebound, fought for. There's a collision. It's going to say off Madriski, out of bounds. And West Central keeps possession, and more importantly, they got a fresh shot clock to work with. Knight will trigger it in. Jeton, almost a double dribble. Thornton kicks it outside, and looks like West Central may just play keep away here. Oh, dangerous pass. It's tapped away by Nedved. Or check that, Knudsen.
Yeah, chance to make this a 2-possession game.
And we'll have some free throws, I believe, unless this was on the floor.
I think they got it on the floor on the drive there.
Ellie Knight has just fouled out of the game, and that's a big loss for West Central as Schultz comes to the scorer's table to replace her. So the point guard, her day is done for West Central.
And Ellie Knight, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, played a nice overall floor game.
Oh, that pass too tall by Nedved, out of bounds. A wasted opportunity there for Wagner as they turn the ball over with 1:20 left.
I would expect them to come running at the ball handler with 2 here. They got Kopel up on this one. Got to give yourself an option for West Central.
Oh, that should have been over and back. As Jeton drives. Looks like West Central is just going to play keep away here. They're under a minute to go. And we're going to have a traveling call. So Wagner gets the ball back. They force the turnover.
In West Central, only 1 point so far in this fourth quarter, and that's why we have the ball game that we do. 7-point game with 57 to play.
Still 3 possessions. Let's see if Wagner wants to call a timeout maybe. They're going to have Kopel. She was tripped up. And no call. And West Central ends up with the basketball. And I believe we got a timeout that's been called by West Central to keep the possession here.
Yeah, and they've played keep away here for multiple possessions. When you get put in this point right here, 7-point deficit, 43 to play. Wagner, I wouldn't even be surprised if they even pick up full, maybe try to work to have them even get the basketball in bounds. And if you're Coach Caffrey over there, you got your primary handler on the bench who's already fouled out in Ellie Knight. So Casey Jaton's going to have to take a bigger role in wanting the basketball. And then you get in those situations that you got to help your teammates out. Got to come to the ball. You got to make sure that basketball can always see you, not hide from it.
Peyton Witchman, number 45, the 8th grader, ran to the scores table. She's going to check in, and maybe she's that designated foul person for Wagner here, as they still have a foul to give.
Yeah, no question. And Wagner right now, they don't have anybody with 4, I don't believe, but Knutson with 3, Kopel with 3, and then couple people with 2. So nobody really in huge foul trouble right now. But maybe getting a quicker, more agile body out there to deny, like I was talking about.
All righty. West Central is going to throw it in. Kopel was in the middle of that scrum they have there. You know, this gaggle of players they're going to have in the backcourt, but she'll drop back. It goes into Jaton. Now the pressure melts away. Let's see if the trap comes at half court. And they're going to try to commit a foul, I would think. And there's a foul committed by Wagner, but they let a little time tick off the clock.
Yeah, vital seconds, vital seconds. Everyone is important at this point in the game. And as you mentioned, not in the bonus yet. They will be on the next one.
Holzbauer with the foul, her first. Team's 4th.
West Central only has 1 timeout remaining.
They try to go for a steal. Do they get the jump ball? They do, but the possession arrow favors West Central.
And that's why that play where Kaylee Schultz laid out to get the last tie-up is really, really important. Now they got the Wagner had that first jump ball, and now West Central gets this one back.
So the official signaling to the Wagner bench that the players need to sit down. And they'll get it in, and they're going to try to get the steal. The ball tapped away. There's a big pile up for it near half court, and they're going to call a jump ball, and so Wagner gets it now. And I believe we're going to have a warning perhaps on West Central. Well, I know it's getting chippy out there, folks.
Yeah, bench warning on West Central.
All right, we're going to get Madriski up off the bench for Wagner, and that'll be Witchman, the 8th grader, heading to the bench. Well, the shot clock is off with 21.8 seconds left. It's still a 3-possession game.
It's been pretty scrappy and a little ragtag here down the stretch.
Who says they're just playing out the string? Kopel heading to the corner, wants to fire the 3, has to give it to Holzbauer, and her shot is off the mark and out of bounds.
And now there's only 9 seconds remaining. So we had a situation with 40+ seconds with West Central having the basketball, and the time you get a shot at Wagner was about 10 seconds remaining.
And the ball tapped out of bounds. It stays with West Central on the inbounds play. And I believe West Central wants to call a timeout here. They're going to spend, I believe, their last timeout just to make sure they get this inbounds play correct, with 9.4 seconds left and the team up by 7.
And there's gonna be a bunch of, I'm sure, teaching moments for Coach Caffrey here. Still only 1 point in this fourth quarter, and they missed a few point-blank ones. Probably got a little passive there with the lead, and it's allowed Wagner to hang around and make this really interesting here in the final minute.
Well, don't forget our semifinal session comes up tonight. 5 Central, 4 Mountain Time. Hamlin versus Lennox. Sioux Falls Christian versus Makpia-Luta will follow that one. Should be a fun night. And again, our coverage begins at 5 Central, 4 Mountain Time as the teams. Wagner breaks the huddle. West Central still huddled up by their bench.
That was West Central's last time out that they have remaining. Wagner still has 2 left, and if you're Wagner right now, you got to be trying for a 5-second violation. Would like to see them full face guard, but
they get it into Jatan. She races up court and is fouled right in front of the Wagner bench by Holzbauer, but she burned off a few seconds. And one of the top free throw shooters for the Trojans, 78%, is going to go to the line. In fact, she is their best free throw shooter. And Casey Jatan has just had a really, really good game and has had a really good tournament as well. 14 yesterday. She's at 15 currently. Make it 16 points.
Yeah, she shoots it very well from the foul line, just shy of 80% overall. Definitely the player that you want the ball in an end-of-game situation.
And that one rolls off the rim. Bruyere into the front court, 3 seconds left. Trying to pull it down low, then the ball game is over. And West Central advances to the consolation championship game. 46-38, our final score. We'll come back, look at the highlights, some of the stats, and more here from the Class A tournament here in Watertown. You're watching SDPB 3.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
Peterson Farm Seed Reps, real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm Seed Reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
Our final score in our second consolation game of the day sees West Central beating Wagner 46-38. Our final score, let's check out some of the highlights from the second half. And West Central only scored 11 points total in the second half. Wagner made a run at them, and it was all Ashlyn Copel.
Yeah, accounted for 35 of their 38. I'm not sure if I've ever seen a box score like that, Steve, but Braxton Nedved was she was 1 of 7 from the floor, 1 of 6 from 3, accounted for the only other 3 points that Ashlyn Copel didn't score. And yeah, it was a bit of a rock fight down the stretch with neither team being able to score a ton and be able to capitalize, but West Central doing just enough, and their ability to really take care of the basketball, get 18 more shots than Wagner due to their offensive rebounding prowess and then limiting those turnovers.
Wagner much better on the boards in the second half, but the turnovers really killed him. And you mentioned that. Guys, I've been doing games for over 40 years on radio and television, high school and college. I cannot recall off the top of my head seeing a performance like what Ashlyn Copel, 35 of the team's 38 points. That is amazing, folks. And unfortunately for Wagner, in a losing effort, West Central, a good balanced attack. All of their starters scored. Casey Jatan, the sophomore, 16 points, 11 for Skonhovd, and 10 for Ellie Knight. And Ellie Knight, her floor game was just stellar today.
Yeah, impressive. They were especially efficient in that first half. Not so much in the second half, but did just enough. You mentioned Jatan was big, coming up with some points, and Ellie Knight just creating enough offense for them. But anytime you love, if you're Coach Caffrey, you love the fact 10 turnovers or less, that's what you want. You're going to set yourself up and give yourself a chance always if you have ball security like that.
The most points ever in consolation play, Lori Wolobor from Summit in 84 had 37. Copel was 2 points shy of that today as she accounted for all but 3 of the points for Wagner. We'll step away, come back with more from the Class A tournament here in Watertown. This is SDPB 3.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family. Watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
Bank West is rooted in South Dakota. Committed to local success. Just like you. We're all connected. In South Dakota. For South Dakota. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Putting a wrap on things here for the afternoon session on a Friday, day 2 of the Class A girls basketball tournament here in consolation play. We had Sioux Valley over Lakota Tech. An exciting game there, 61-53. The final score is Sioux Valley. Offensive woes yesterday, and Nate, I think they seem to have figured a few things out today, because guess what their average is? 61 points per game.
No question. Shot the ball more confidently, shot the ball better, got out in transition, had some great opportunities that way. Kaylee Craddock, double-double, and was extremely impressive for the Sioux Valley Cossacks to get the win.
Yep, and it will be Sioux Valley matching up with West Central tomorrow as they beat Wagner 46-38. So we'll have Lakota Tech versus Wagner for 7th place tomorrow in the afternoon session. That'll start at 11 a.m. in Central Time, and then it will be Sioux Valley West Central for the Consolation Championship here at Class A. Let's talk about tonight before we sign off. Hamlin-Lennox, round 3, Nate.
It's gonna be exciting. It'll probably be a lower scoring deal. You have two of the better defensive teams in the whole state that are squaring off against each other. Addison Neuendorf, not sure there's a better point guard in the state than her, and then you got all that length and athleticism that Lennox brings.
And then it's a rematch of the championship game from last year, Makpialuta against Sioux Falls Christian, the Chargers, the defending champions. I think we're going to have an electric atmosphere here tonight in Watertown, and well, I'm looking forward to it.
No question. That second one, as you mentioned, the rematch from last year's state championship. I'm sure this Makpialuta team there's going to be nothing that needs to be said to them to get them going and provide their best shot tonight.
It'll be a dandy, and we invite you to join us 5 Central, 4 Mountain Time on behalf of our entire crew, our production, operations, and engineering crew, our camera people from Watertown High School doing a great job today. We're going to sign off just temporarily here. We'll see you at 5 Central, 4 Mountain Time. For Nate Kading, I'm Steve Toom. You've been watching SDPB. Good afternoon, everybody.